yes, y'all. You know what it is. It's them kids and wives and 925s, but we are still married to the games, episode 272. Oh, yeah. It's your boy Gabe Patillo with Tim Router, Ed Placencia, and Chris McCracken, of course. And as always, we are talking games and life and games. Thank you guys so much for being here. We really appreciate it.
Wow, you were excited this morning.
That's right. You go, man.
I got to get up. I got to make up for last week.
Wake up. That's good.
Yeah. If you're driving in your car and you just wrecked, I don't want to hear it on Twitter.
You're welcome.
Or Facebook.
You're welcome.
I can't wait to see the police report.
Mm-hmm.
Vehicle A was driving at a speed of 65 miles an hour. Said he was listening to a podcast called Married to the Games. And oh, yes, y'all, right into a tree.
That's perfect. That oh yes y'all has now become a verb.
Exactly. Oh my gosh.
I was gonna go to that meeting, but y'all. I'm sorry.
That's right.
I just couldn't make it.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I really wanted to be there. Edward,
Yes, sir.
how are you?
I'm tired, man.
You sound tired,
Yeah.
man.
Wow,
Yeah, man.
what's up?
It has been a week. I'm telling you.
Really?
Yes.
Where are you?
I am in Lancaster, Pennsylvania right now.
I was about to say, you
sweet.
sound different.
I do.
You sound like you're in a bathroom or something.
He's sitting outside the square one waiting for them to open.
I know, right? I'm like, come on.
Who needs sleep? I need coffee.
Exactly.
Open up now.
Yeah, it was a crazy week. I picked up Sarah from the airport last week. I had gotten back from San Francisco. She was out in Kansas or in Idaho seeing her brother.
Same thing.
And same thing, pretty much. And her mom was out there visiting her brother as well, and at the last minute decided that she would fly back with Sarah. So I picked the both of them up in Indy, and somewhere between Indy and home, her mom decided she was just too tired. She was going to spend the night with us. So,
Oh,
wow.
I just can't now.
yeah, exactly.
I'm going to just stay here.
That is funny.
And we were like, oh, okay. And so we got in late Tuesday night, and Sarah's other brother was going to be spending Thanksgiving with us. He was going to get in actually on Friday. So Sarah and I we were going to do our traditional Thanksgiving together by ourselves, and then just kind of go from there.
Yes.
And you know, when you're having like a party or whatever, and there's kind of that window of when you're allowed to arrive, how early you can arrive, and it's still okay.
Yes.
So he was scheduled to get in.
Is there
on
an okay time?
I know, right?
Toby has always taught me that being early is just as bad as being late.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a difference between like 5 minutes early and a half hour early, you know?
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, there is.
Well, he showed up 2 days early.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh, wow.
what?
And that's been my week.
Wait.
Yep. Let's
So,
back
hey
this up.
guys, let's have Thanksgiving dinner together on Thursday. He shows up on Tuesday?
No, he was supposed to show up on Friday.
Oh, yes.
So
yes,
he
yes,
showed up
Friday.
on Wednesday.
Showed up on Wednesday.
Showed up on Wednesday, yeah.
Nah, Doc.
Oh man. Nuh-uh.
Ah,
Go get a hotel, brother.
I would have loved to see your face as he as he rapped on the door.
Yeah.
Tock, 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 tock.
it's a good thing I wasn't playing poker
Yeah, exactly.
because my tells were a showing.
Oh, shoot.
Oh.
And you're here. Hi.
Yeah.
What did you say?
Well,
So where are you staying tonight?
Exactly.
Yeah. Hi, where are you
That's what
staying
I
tonight?
said.
He had called Sarah and said Tuesday
Hey, I'm
night
outside your
was-
door?
and was like, pretty much was like, hey, what are you guys doing? Want to hang out? And Sarah's like, what are you talking about? He's like, oh, we're here. And she was like, what? I thought you were going to be here on Friday. And he's like, oh, you know. And I'm like, no,
Oh,
No, I don't know.
no,
you
I
got to
don't.
tell people about that. So just a tip to travelers,
Don't do that.
heads up.
Especially on Thanksgiving, man.
So yeah, it was definitely different. It turned out it was fine, but it was just I'm still exhausted from
Oh, just entertaining
entertaining. Yeah, there's
for
kind of
2
that
extra days.
for 2 extra days, and so it's funny because I told Sarah after they left then on Sunday.
Okay.
And it was just kind of a thing of, Sarah, we haven't, this is Sunday night. We were just like, this is the first night we've spent together in the last week alone. Just because.
Oh, wow.
It was just nice to kind of relax. And like you said, Gabe, just not have to entertain. But
did they have a reason
Yeah, what was the reason for this?
besides being drunk?
he's the youngest. And
Yeah,
that's
but you
the
have
reason.
to think so highly of yourself to think that you might be blessing somebody with your presence 2 days early.
Oh, that box is checked as well.
Wow. Okay.
You said it, Gabe. I didn't.
And thanks for listening. He's no longer
Okay.
listening to the podcast.
Yep.
Oh, man.
But that being said, we spent a lot of time during Thanksgiving week with the Tapmans. They came over quite a bit. And we went over there on Saturday for Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to tell you, the VR is a hit.
Nice.
Is it?
It
Good deal.
is a smash grand slam out of the park.
No way. Is it like
Hit.
you wish you had 2 of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you would not have, it's amazing. I think everyone in the family played Rush of Blood.
No way.
That is awesome.
See, I think I would play it in that setting.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
that setting, I would play it. Yeah, everybody's around. It's like when we played PT at episode 100.
Right.
Yeah,
I never
it's a
played
little more
PT by
comfortable.
myself.
Right,
But
right.
with everybody
In the
there,
dark.
it's like, yeah, let's get it. By myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely different. Yeah. Yeah. But we had, oh my gosh,
All
it was
day.
such a good time.
Sorry, I had to keep saying that. It's
No,
such a good,
Kevin Hart,
it's
man. It's just
such a
funny.
good skit. Sorry, Ed. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. It's I don't know how many VR games we picked up this week. Just had such a good time playing that, and there's a game called Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes that we really had a good time with. There is a I can't remember what the name of it is offhand. I thought I had it written. No, it's Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. That's it. Where the person wearing the VR helmet, the hat. Sorry,
The hat. Yeah, the
the
hat.
hat
The helmet.
is looking at a bomb they're trying to defuse and is describing what he sees, and everyone else has a manual
That's
and are
right.
kind of like
That's awesome.
walking them through. Okay,
Yeah.
What
how
a
many
great
wires?
idea.
And yeah, it's so much fun.
And is it timed? Like you have a time limit?
Yeah, you've got 5 minutes.
Oh, that's
And
so. What a great idea! Wow.
It's such a good idea. It's so well done. So yeah, just been playing the mess out of VR, and Sarah was just like, "I'm so glad we got this." She's like, "This is so much." Sarah loves it.
Really?
She's
That's
a huge
great.
Batman fan. She loves being the Batman, and so yeah, it's just been a lot of fun.
Does she talk like this?
Not quite like that, but she
I'm
tries.
I want to be
gets his-
Batman only for that reason. Is just to talk like that. Just to have
That's
the
right.
most ridiculous voice on that anybody. I might be Batman for Christmas. For Halloween next year.
I think you
I'd
should.
be like, Batman,
Do it.
trick or treat.
Good night.
Yeah, can't do the Bat. You're like, what? Who are you?
You okay?
Right.
I'm Batman. Like he ruined the Christopher Nolan movies for me. I
Yeah.
love those Batman movies and cannot take him serious because he talks like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you start thinking about it, it's hard to not hear it and
Exactly.
laugh at it.
All right. But Chris Nolan, I feel like, did so well. I don't know if it's on purpose, but like I feel like those movies ain't really about Batman. They're about the
Mhm.
villains.
Mhm.
Like the
Mhm.
villains are so good in those movies that you're like,
Oh yeah.
oh yeah, and there's Batman in there.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Batman and Gollum mixed together.
Exactly.
or the grumbler, either one.
Yeah, he's not even saying words.
Right.
So-
Mm.
But yeah, so it was just Again, I don't know how many PSVR games we played, but it was
All of them.
all of
So
them.
great.
All the games.
All week long. It was just that was a lot of fun, man.
Good
It
for
was,
you guys.
and it was just so cool just to watch. There was one, it was a free download, and it wasn't even a game. It was more of like a little mini movie, kind of a stop motion animation movie.
Oh, cool.
And you just sit and watch it, and just putting that on and just hearing people react to that world, and just like, oh my gosh, it is so real. It is so bizarre, and just, the wow, when they would slip on the thing and see just the loading screen or a menu of some sort was just really, really cool.
That's awesome.
So that was nice. Yeah, it was really
Yeah,
nice.
that's nice.
And then besides that, it's been Phone Destroyer and a little bit of Assassin's Creed Origins. And yeah, it's been for gaming, it's been a heck of a week. It's been good.
Yep.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I love when gaming brings people together,
I know, right?
even if it's 2 days early. The heck is wrong with him? Lord have
Seriously.
mercy.
I know. Here, put this virtual hat on.
I just
Don't bother me.
yeah.
And get your virtual butt out of here.
I was wondering, like, when you're laying in bed that night, you're like, I probably made a mistake.
I was gonna say, like, what did Sarah if you guys had a moment alone with Sarah, like, what is going on? Is she like freaking out?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Nice.
That's awesome.
We'll just speak for you, Ed, because everything that you probably want to say,
Exactly.
we'll go ahead and say for you.
That's totally fine. It's on you guys.
All right, cool. No problem.
Tim Router,
Yes, sir.
what's been going on with you?
Man, I'm just coming out of my tryptophan-induced coma from last week, eating too much as always. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Yeah, it's been. I thankfully did not have any people show up 2 days early because there was no place to go, which was really nice. We were here. Piper had all week off from school, as I mentioned last week. So we just had our Thanksgiving over at Lauren's parents' house. Ate way too much. Had a great time. My mom and my dad came over, and my dad is looking great. He was. I got a good glimpse of kind of his normal self again. He was talking a lot. He's walking around great. He doesn't look weak anymore. He still has his walker with him just to be careful and everything. And I did get a report yesterday that is from my mom that his white blood cell counts are up now, so he can be out and about more, which I think is great.
Good.
I think he really enjoyed just being out too, because I would probably go stir crazy if I just had to stay in that house all day. So I think he is. He's definitely. It's just this slow process of just slowly but surely regaining strength, regaining muscles, and he's definitely on his way. So I'm gonna be with him tomorrow. On Thursday, usually in the morning and part of the afternoon, I stay with him at the house. My mom has a Bible study with some of her girls at church, so I want to give her. She asked me like a couple weeks ago, "Hey, would you mind if I went on Thursday?" I said, "Absolutely, Mom. Go have a normal life for a little bit." And she really enjoys it, so I want to do that for her. And but it's great because I can bring my computer and I work from the house, and it works out really well. So, but it's just great to see him out and about. So it was a really great Thanksgiving on multiple levels. And let's see what else is going on. I didn't get up any, for any Black Friday deals or anything. I kind of didn't need anything that desperately. So a lot of it this weekend was just working on the house. We still had some stuff to do. Slowly but surely getting some Christmas decorations up. We went and got our tree this weekend, and so I just have the garland to hang outside. It's just weird because I'm so used to the past 14 years. I've known exactly what we need to do at the house. We do the same like garland and lighting every year. And I know, exactly how to do it. It takes me this long to do. And this year it's like, well, what are we doing? Like, how do we? And so it's a lot of just trying to figure out what we want to do. And so we'll get there by this weekend. We should have everything decorated and ready to go. And this weekend's going to be fun here in downtown Franklin. There's a lot of stuff going on Friday night. They do the lighting of the Christmas tree. And that's always a good time. They close the square and everybody comes in. And there's musicians and there's just all kinds of fun stuff. And then Saturday will be the Christmas parade. So they close off Main Street. And so it's a lot of fun. So there'll be a lot of fun activities for Piper to do. And speaking of Piper, I feel like a broken record, but her topic of the week again is the Nashville Predators because last night.
Let's go Preds.
That's right. Last night we went to the Preds Blackhawks game, and I took Ribbo. The guys at Ribbo had their full 4 tickets because they're out on a retreat somewhere, traveling. And they're like, "Hey Tim, I got 4 tickets for you if you want them to the Blackhawks game." I'm like, "Sure, thank you."
Mm-hmm.
And so I ended up taking one of Piper's friends from her kindergarten class and her dad, who we've gotten really close with, and we just had a really great time. And it was her friend Ensley's first hockey game, and so the seats that Ribbo have are right near the band stage, which is actually right where the Zamboni comes out and where a lot of the ice crew comes out and shovels ice. And not once, but twice, 2 guys from the ice crew offered to give us gameplay pucks. So they were out on the ice, they grabbed a puck, and so Piper got one, and then Ensley got one. And so I'm like, man, what a way to have a great first hockey experience. You get a puck, and one of the guys even threw her friend Ensley a T-shirt too. So it was really sweet.
Nice.
Man, it's it really is a fun atmosphere going to a Preds game. I feel like we have some of the best fans. They're very respectful. There were a lot of Blackhawks fans too, because this town is such a transitional town. So you get a lot of people from all over.
Yeah, nobody's from here.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so since Chicago isn't that far, you've got a lot of transplants. And it was a great game, and it was a good win for us. And man, we're on a roll. I think we've won 10 out of our last 11 games. So it's been great. But yeah, Piper loves it, and just we had so much fun and had some good food, and it was great. On the gaming front, I'm still trying to kill that captain with an Olag, man.
No way.
I've spent all weekend trying to do it, and I feel like the platinum trophy gods are against me because like every time I'm like so close, and it has to be that little sweet spot, because if the health bar has to be low enough so that if you find an Olag, shoot him in the head, stun him, then get on, you run into him and it knocks him over. But then like you have to go back, and then I strike the captain again, and then I end up killing him. I'm like, oh, for crying out loud. Or you hit the Olag in the head with an arrow and that kills him. So it's like there's all these factors that kind of have to come together.
I mean, I know this may sound silly, but you have gone to like YouTube to see if hey, is there some other way to do this that I'm just not thinking of?
There's multiple ways to do it. It's just a matter of actually getting it right. And because I've discovered there's a couple ways to. So what I'm doing, I'm not fast traveling to other lands. I'm staying in the same land and just killing all of the captains that are not any of my captains. And so once something regenerates, then I go find a worm and get intel and see if they have a gang of Olags as part of their traits. And that's one of the things that you can do on YouTube. The other thing I discovered is if there's a nemesis mission where one captain's trying to kill another, if that captain is an Olag, that actually helps because you can use him multiple times to jump to get on his back and try and kill the other captain. But you're also dealing with 2 captains, so you just have to make sure that you don't get killed in the process. So you would think that this is super easy, but it's actually not. It's not the easiest one to really achieve. And so, but you know what's fun? What's funny about this is like I've been doing this all weekend. I'm still having a great time with it. I mean, my level is maxed out for tallying. Like I'm completely maxed out. I can't tell you how many captains I've killed. So I have all this gear. I have all this coin, but it's just one of those things where I'm not, I'm not really disappointed about it. Yeah, I'm more anxious to move on and get to some more games, but it literally says on my trophy, 98% done. So this one trophy will do it, and then I'll get the platinum and we're done. So I'm still going with it. So hopefully by next week, I should be able to get it done. I know what to do. It's just a question of executing it properly. And there's been several times where I'm like right there and just like one arrow shot too many, and I either end up killing the captain or killing the Olag, and it's just like But it's still fun, man. I'm having such a good time with it. So I am determined to get that platinum. So I will just keep going until I do. And I think that's pretty much it for me, man.
There you go.
Yeah.
Chris McCracken?
Yeah. So Thanksgiving last week, like pretty much everybody was really good. We went up to Oklahoma to Stacy's aunt's house. She lives in more of a out kind of by a lake, not like a lakefront property, but out near a lake out there in Oklahoma, and it's kind of a little bit in the middle of nowhere where she is. So it's one of those places where you go and we don't even have like cell phone signal. And you have cell phone signal up until you turn onto the street where she lives, and then it kind of like goes away. You can stand in certain ways, in the house, and you might get something, but that's about it. So it's also it's kind of nice to be out there and just be distraction free and just focus in on visiting with family and everybody else. But dinner was great. I actually carved the turkey this time, which I've never done that. So it's all right. Well, I mean, everybody ate, nobody complained, so I guess I did fine at it. I mean, I don't know how much skill really takes.
You didn't leave any bones or anything in there, so that's good.
Ed didn't complain out loud, and somebody showed up 2 days early, so I wouldn't take too much credit.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, but I was thinking, I was like, okay, well, grab this leg, just rip it out. Okay, there's one piece. Then we got that, and then the next one, and then
here, Timmy, you take this
scissory knife and get going at it. And I mean, it all went fine. Had enough food to bring home and have for dinner the next couple days or so. And then Saturday morning, Stacy left for Boston. So she's in Boston right now. Going to be there a couple of weeks. We finished most of the unpacking. We have our guest room is like all the extra boxes that we didn't get to are kind of stuffed in there right now. And I do still have some stuff in my office that I'm just dispersing as I go because we finished putting in all the closet system stuff. So now I'm starting to fill out my closet with how I want everything to go. I'll probably finish that up tonight because Stacy's brother-in-law comes in this coming weekend, and he's going to be staying with us because I'm hosting that cousin's Christmas thing that we're doing here at the house.
Oh, that's right.
And he's one of the cousins, so he's going to be staying here for that.
As long as he doesn't show up 2 days early, we're good.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No, he's only planned to show up 1 day early. But honestly, it wouldn't even bother me if he showed up 2 days early. Be like, hey, good, you help me clean this up real quick.
Put him to work. That's right.
Yeah, do this over there. And then last weekend after Stacy had left that evening on Saturday, I went with a couple of friends from work. They invited me to do another room escape at a different area that I haven't been to yet.
So much fun.
And this one wasn't the hardest one, which I feel like I've done the hardest one at whatever location we go to like 2 or 3 times now. But this one was more like a medium difficulty, and we made it out super quick. Like she was like, if you would have made it out a minute sooner, you would have beat the record that we have for this one.
Oh, really? Nice.
Wow.
Look at you.
Like, yeah. So I mean, I can say I was a little nervous. I was like, man, I almost feel like I should just retire and go out on top and be undefeated. But I was like, yeah, you know what? Why not? And we made it out anyway, so I guess I just can't be stopped.
Yeah, man.
So
no, you can't.
Go ahead and retire that jersey now, Chris. You're good.
I know that's what I need to do. I will say that this one, you could tell it's so strange because I've been to 3 of them now, 3 different locations. I've done 5 room escapes, but 3 of them have all been the same, under the same brand, I guess you will, that we had in Nashville for episode 200. So they had that same, I forget the name of it actually here. So this was the first time I went to a different one. It was called Escape Experience or something like that. And it was weird to see how different they can be yet kind of the same. Because the last one that I did was, it was the hardest one. And they're like, oh, you're in a jail cell and the teams are split up in 2 different jail cells and you'll have to help each other get out of your jail. And then you have to go to another room. And this had the same aspect. So I was like, oh, it's going to be like the same game, but it wasn't. It was like totally different. Other than the fact that you both start out in a separate jail and then you end up in the same room. But the ways and the things that you have to do are totally different. So it's neat to see how everybody that's doing this type of genre of game like approaches it a little bit differently. So I thought that was kind of interesting and how they did it. I think the other location has it a little bit tighter, a little bit more crisp, if you will. Like if they were video games, I'd say the other place is like coming in at an easy 1080p 60. And this place is more like a 720p 30. It's like it's good, but not quite. You can tell the other one's better.
Yeah.
So
the other one's OG.
It was kind of
But some people couldn't probably even tell the difference.
No, I'm sure that they couldn't. It's because I'm an aficionado
you're such a veteran now.
Exactly.
I'm like, oh man, I'm basically a developer. I might as well make these games.
Yeah, you can't tell this is 30 frames a second.
So outside of that, I haven't played any Overwatch, so that's been a weird thing that I haven't said in a while. And then I played a lot more Call of Duty multiplayer, and then I started to record the Call of Duty campaign finally. I did the first playthrough, and it didn't record video. It recorded all my audio.
Of course it didn't.
And there was no video, which it was partially my fault because I updated my software right beforehand, but I tested everything and did a test video record and everything to make sure it was all working fine. So I have no idea what happened. So I went back and did the way that it works is kind of similar to Battlefield 1 last year, where you play a story or a section of the story, if you will, and then that's like a chapter, and it goes back to a screen where you can go back and replay any chapter you want at any given time.
Mm-hmm.
So I replayed the first chapter, which luckily, I mean, it's not super long, but at the same time, it's not like I was like, oh, been there, done that, because you can do it differently. And this Call of Duty is a little bit different than past ones that I've played, which I haven't played a proper campaign in a good while, but I don't remember a campaign before where you don't regenerate health just naturally. You have to pick up health packs, or you have to have one of your teammates like throw you a health pack. So that makes it each time you play through just a little bit differently. Plus, there's slightly different ways that you can go, and it could just be different. But it's cool so far. I mean, I only played the first little opening area where you're storming the beach of Normandy, which in video games you've done that a lot if you've been a gamer for a while. Right. But I still find it a lot of fun. World War II setting is one of my favorite settings to see, like in movies and video games. I still enjoy it. So whether or not the rest of it's going to be as good, I don't know. We'll have to see, to be determined. But so far, I'm really enjoying it. And it's nice to be, for me, someone who kind of got ushered back into gaming after a hiatus because of Call of Duty. It's nice to be playing a Call of Duty multiplayer game again. Yeah. And finding myself with a big smile on my face. Nice. I feel like I haven't done that in a while. And even the last couple Call of Duties, like I didn't even bother with them. I mean, I just had no real interest. I think the last one that I played was the Modern Warfare Remastered. And then before that, the last one I played was Ghosts. I just haven't really cared to jump in a while. And so it's kind of nice. It kind of feels like I'm coming back to something that I loved.
The prodigal son has returned.
So I really enjoy that they're back to a World War II setting, and that it's very, just running around on the ground. It's back to what I know. It's, it's drop shotting. It's listening on the headphones for footsteps, and just and not having to worry about all the boosting around and flying around. Is a guy going to be back behind me and up above, or where's he going to be? I really enjoyed it. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm going to try to stream some of it. I haven't really got to mess around with streaming much with the new house and the new internet connection. So last night I kind of did a lot of digging around on the stuff and did some test streams just on a private YouTube link just to make sure I have all my settings right again and all that. So hopefully coming up soon, I'll have some time there where I can do a couple streams, might do some Call of Duty or something else. And then I'm hoping to get into Battlefront at some point. I really want to finish this campaign and then possibly move on to recording the Battlefront campaign unless Ed is able to get to it before me, since he started on the EA Access thing. But just regardless, I'm looking forward to playing it because the reactions are so mixed on the story mode of it.
Oh, really?
It's like I just really want to see for myself, because some people really like it. Some people think it's a little too overbearing. Some people just think it's not that great, or it's whatever. And I'm like, I just want to get in there and do it. It's like one of those things where, like you see a movie trailer and you're like, and then the movie comes out and you haven't seen it yet, and some people are mixed, and you're like, but it just, from the trailer, looks so good. I just got to see it for myself. I got to try it.
Right.
It's the same thing. It's just, regardless of what anybody says, I'm going to play it. I have to see it for myself. And so I'm eager to get in there, but I also want to make sure that I finish out this Call of Duty stuff, because I'm really interested in it as well and see how it plays out. So we'll just have to see. Outside of that, that's pretty much it gaming-wise. It's really only been Call of Duty. Still doing a lot of, obviously, like I said before, getting stuff ready around the house since we're going to have all these people over. I feel like next week will be the first week where everything will be done and I won't have something I'm needing to get ready for, and it'll just feel like normal again. So it'll be nice whenever that week gets here and I can just kind of return to, oh yeah, I don't have to do anything except play a video game if I want to, or walk the dog, without having all this other stuff that I'm feeling like, oh, I got to make sure I get this done and that done and yada, yada, yada. Amen. And then, Christmas will be here and I'll be like, okay, now I got to do this and go here. And
exactly.
Yeah, so, out of the frying pan into the fire, man.
Yeah, just want a slight breather, and then I think we'll be good. But that's pretty much it for me.
Nice.
Hit it up, Mr. Patillo.
All right, well.
How was Black Friday?
It was good. But first, I've got two blockbuster movies here.
Oh, I love you.
I wanted to see which one you guys wanted to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I wanted to know how you found a blockbuster.
I know,
Well,
right?
Trust me, if you try hard enough.
Mhm.
Let's gather around the fireplace, shall we?
Okay.
First up, when a clumsy elf accidentally shrinks 2 kids on Christmas Eve,
What?
they get scooped up into Santa's sack. When they are dropped off across the street, the tiny kids have to navigate holiday hazards to make it home safely.
For the holidays.
Directed by Jonathan A. Rosenbaum, Tiny Christmas.
Man, I feel like the title was going to be a lot more punny than it ended up
I
being.
know,
I know,
I'm
right?
sorry, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
It's all the buildup.
That works.
I
So.
know, right?
Okay,
Tiny-
Ooh, more.
or, I said I have 2.
Mm-hmm.
Bring it.
Somebody with very little Christmas spirit is killing anyone in a Santa suit one London holiday
Dum
season.
dum dum.
And Scotland Yard has to stop him before he makes his exploits an annual tradition.
Wow.
Wow.
Don't open till Christmas.
I like that. I like that one.
I'm so torn which one I
That
want to
one's
watch.
good.
So torn.
Oh, bad Christmas movies,
They are
love it.
back.
2017.
Oh, I love
Why watch
that.
them? Just hear that. That's all you need.
All right, so boys, what? So decision time. What are we watching?
Yeah, Don't Open Till Christmas or Tiny Christmas.
Don't open.
Don't
till.
open till Christmas.
Definitely don't open till Christmas.
Gotta be.
Okay.
And then Tiny Christmas for a palate cleanser after that.
Exactly. If that gets too crazy.
Is that that gets too holiday nuts.
Oh, man.
That's hilarious.
That is great. Yep, let's keep that going. That's a great
Good.
new Christmas tradition.
All righty. It's December, y'all.
Yeah, it is.
Mhm.
I can't believe it.
Man.
Black Friday was good. Obviously, I was on the hunt for a TV. That
And?
didn't end up happening.
No,
No,
really.
why not?
I went a way more domestic route.
Ah, okay.
We've been cleaning up the garage, and the one thing that was missing that I needed to really clean up was a toolbox.
Mm.
And so on Black Friday, I got like, it's not the Mac Daddy of toolboxes,
Yeah.
but I definitely could have bought a TV.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I got a serious toolbox.
Wow.
That's great.
Made by Milwaukee.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Again, it's not the Mac Daddy. There's the Mac Daddies out there. I was
Yeah.
headed there to, like, I've been cleaning the garage, like, ever since we got the shed stuff moving again. I've been cleaning up the garage, and I just noticed, like, I've got so much crap all over the place
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
if I had, like, a good, 9-drawer toolbox, on wheels, then that would really help. And man, looking at the garage before and looking at it now, it's nuts how much
Really?
how many boxes were just around with drill bits over here and like my
Yeah.
circular saw over here and my jigsaw over here and my Dremel over here. And that all that stuff just takes up so much space when it's spread out.
Mhm.
So to put it all in one area by the door it's like almost therapeutic.
And it's in
That's
the
great.
garage, right?
I'm sorry?
It is in the garage? All of it now?
Oh yeah, the toolbox
toolbox?
is in the garage. Yeah, but it's just not like all spread out.
So, like, if Router comes over and you open the garage and show him, is he going to think, oh, so you're starting a new career as a car mechanic? Like, is it
No.
going to be that kind of?
No, it's not like that.
Oh, okay.
And that's the thing that sucks. That it was so expensive,
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
are not
yeah.
cheap.
but it was one of those things. Like it's kind of like when you go look at TVs. You're
Yes.
like, this TV would be fine if it was at my house, but sitting next to this TV, I need
know.
this other one.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I had went to Home Depot with a toolbox in mind already. I was like, that's the one I'm getting. It's $150 on, Black Friday sale. It's really like marked down to $200, but I knew somebody, so he
Nice.
hook it up for $150. And and man, I went there and that Milwaukee one was sitting right next to it, and I was like, doggone it. But it was just so expensive, and I was like, but you start pulling on the drawers.
And they're so
tires.
smooth. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, this one does close nice.
It feels so nice.
It's got soft closed doors on a toolbox.
It
Oh
does.
yeah, man.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah.
It's got the soft closed doors. It's got like a raised top so you can clamp stuff to the top, which the other one had a nice wooden top, but you can't clamp stuff to it because there's not that space there.
It's great.
Yeah, all the stuff you need when you're the people that work on their houses a lot understand what I'm talking about. Like it's just little stuff, man. It's got the like the power strip built into it.
Oh, perfect.
Woof.
Oh, nice.
It's got all kind of room. It fit all my tools. So, obviously I can't put like my air compressor and stuff in there, but my circular saw, my Dremels and all that. I mean, it fit everything, all my screws. I've got like a Home Depot shelf full of screws.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you do. By
Which
now.
I didn't realize until I cleaned up, because you're like, oh, here's another box of screws. Oh, here's another box of screws. Oh, here's another box of screws. And so like what I thought would be a shallow, a shallow drawer of screws ended up being a whole full drawer of screws.
That's awesome.
I'm like, golly. So you just don't realize what you have. But then, I
That's
got
amazing.
to get rid of all the other toolboxes I had bought over the years. Like the ones that you would hang on the wall and stuff like that. Like I could throw all those away and everything fit in this one. Oh.
It is, man. That is nice to be nice and organized like that. It
Oh,
feels good.
man. And to know
Feels
right where
so
something's
good.
at.
I know, right?
Oh.
At least until your next project, and then you're like, "Where is that thing that I had?"
Exactly. But it's
I do
been
that
nice. Like,
sometimes.
yeah, it's been nice, even like the little stuff that I do around the house, to be able to just go out there and know exactly where something's at.
That's fantastic.
Good on
you, man.
Other
That's
day I've had
awesome.
to like search for it. So
Right.
I didn't get the TV, but I got a TV's worth of a toolbox.
Nice.
So-
Nice.
Yeah, we'll see if if the Lord got a blessing for a brother closer to Christmas.
Hey, man, just hold off because you can just go for that 10K since they have got HDMI 2.0 that supports 10K
There you go.
now. We'll just wait.
But my luck, I'm gonna get a 10K, and then CES they're gonna be like, "We got this 30K television. You
Isn't
need
that how it
3
always happens?
terabytes per second."
You know what? We're always going to be playing catch up. We're never going to be there.
Always.
We're always going to be like,
Always.
the new around the corner.
I know.
Every year, the best and worst time is CES.
Yeah.
I'm like,
See, it
It
really,
really
is.
is, man. CES is definitely that time where you're like, shoot.
So yeah, everything was good, man. Thanksgiving was good. Went over to my mom's house. It was great. Ate great food. Good family time. My mom's had a really great year, and so she said she felt like she talked a lot, but we had a lot of questions for her. She's done a lot of traveling this year. She went to Israel. She went to Dubai.
Oh, wow.
She's gone to like
So cool.
all these. She went to the Museum of the Bible. She had just got back from that. Its grand opening she got to go to. Like only
cool.
450 people were invited, and she was one of them. You know what I mean?
Nice.
And
That's
so
awesome.
that was, so it was really fun talking to her about all her travels around the world. And yeah, just a good time. Black Friday wasn't too crazy, but of course we still wanted to go out because I'm like that. And and then Cyber Monday, I don't think we got anything Cyber Monday.
Yeah, I didn't either.
But bought gifts for the kids, bought gifts for the parents and stuff like that. So we keeping it moving as we do. Gaming wise, I had a huge fail.
Uh-oh.
no.
A huge fail.
Oh no.
My buddy Chris McCracken had lined up a raid group because I want to hit this raid in Destiny 2 before all the new stuff drops.
yeah, because when
And-
the new stuff drops, the level cap goes up. So everything, the new
okay.
level cap's got to be higher. So
Gets
you
a
got to
little
grind for the new level.
tougher.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
and I'm max. I'm not. I don't know if I'm max. I'm not max level now, but I'm high enough to do the raid in a group. You know what I'm saying? And,
Yes.
and help out, and play my part. So I'm out to dinner with some friends last night. Gigi, the kids' grandmother's here doing the thing. And I'm like, all right, I got to race home because, you know, me, I got to set up, got to get right. You know what I'm saying? I got my PS camera out because, and I don't know if this is still the case, but the last time I streamed on the PlayStation, because I do everything through OBS, if you plug your headphones into the controller, then it cuts all the sound. It doesn't come through the HDMI.
Right.
What I have to do is listen on headphones that are going through my monitor and then use my PlayStation camera as the microphone so that people can hear everything.
Okay.
You know, on the stream and stuff like that. Like where I can still chat in the party and then use my computer microphone for OBS. Anyway,
Yeah.
a bunch of steps. So I'm running home, I'm plugging everything in. And Chris is like, hey, let's try out this YouTube thing where people can, like, you know, multi-stream and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, cool. He's like, you know, people are kind of jumping into the party. All right, cool. And then I sit down to my computer and I've got no internet.
What?
And I was like,
Oh no.
And so I'm like running around and you know, half of my brain, I don't remember if I talked about this debacle or not, but I had switched to AT&T internet last week and found out that I didn't want to do that. So I switched back to Xfinity.
You found out real quick, didn't you?
I found out real fast. It took, you know, something in the back of my brain said, man, don't disconnect Comcast just yet. Like, just ride this thing out over the weekend and just see. And I saw, and I was like, And so I'm running around thinking like maybe it's something with that, like I've jacked something up. Because y'all know me, they said they can't come and put my stuff back right till Tuesday.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, that's not going to work. So I'm out there disconnecting the cable by myself outside the house like, oh, it's just like this. Oh. You know,
Give
so
it a little
everything's
wiggle.
Yeah, give it a little wiggle, give it a little jiggle, have fun tonight. And so everything worked fine. But when you're about to stream with part of the community and do the raid, when you've gotten people together and you don't have any internet, the first thing you think is, I jack something up. So I'm running around the house. I'm putting my house shoes on, trying to get out in the cold real quick, and I'm checking the thing. I got my flashlight out. Everything's connected right. I'm running back inside. And I'm like, man, let me just check the Xfinity site. And of course, there's an outage in my whole area.
Yep.
So it wasn't actually my house. And then because I still have the AT&T box, I'm like trying to plug it back in. Like, ooh, did they disconnect me just yet? They had. Like I asked them to.
Why'd they listen to me this time?
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
The
yeah.
one time.
Yeah, they've been lying up to this point. So anyway, I didn't get to do the raid. Didn't get to game with Chris last night. It was the worst. I felt terrible.
That stinks, man.
I'm sorry, man.
It stings. So we're going to try to do it, what, Chris, on Sunday maybe?
Sunday night will be the next window of opportunity. And then we have to do it Sunday, and then that gives us so we can get as far as we go. And if for some reason we don't get it finished, that leaves us Monday evening to finish it out because it resets on Tuesday. So like those are our last two shots to get it before it forces us to start back over.
I love it. You guys got the plan down, though.
We have to. We have to get it down. You got to get too many people together.
Right?
You got to get like 6 jokers together to.
It is a coordinated effort.
Yeah,
exactly
it is.
right. All right. That's it for me.
Well done, sir,
Okay.
though. I appreciate it.
No
You done did good.
problem. Yeah. You guys
I love,
did good.
man, I love these Christmas movies. Let's keep doing that. That is good, fun stuff.
Right?
Don't open till Christmas. Is that what the title of it?
Yeah, don't open till Christmas.
Oh, amazing.
Oh, yeah. Router,
Yes.
you got it?
Yes.
It's about to fall off his chair.
Yeah. Well, let's do it.
All right, let's do this. New releases this week. We've got some.
Was that the music?
I don't know what that was. I think a gremlin just showed up or something.
We've replaced it. Sorry.
That was the music. Yeah, we're now doing chip tunes by Chris's mouth.
Shit, dude.
Hey, man, I've been practicing.
That's right. That's right. Keep that beatbox alive, brother. Okay. There is, speaking of Shadow of War and killing captains with Olegs, there is some DLC. Slaughter Tribe, Middle Earth Shadow of War Slaughter Tribe is out for Xbox One, PS4, and PC. Little Nightmares: The Hideaway for PC, Xbox One, PS4. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 for the Nintendo Switch. There you go, Gabe.
Really?
And Resident Evil Revelations and Revelations 2 for the Nintendo Switch.
So here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I give the Switch a hard time for having old games. That's not an old game. This is a new one, and I'm really on the fence about it.
Okay.
And so I want to give props where props is due, because Xenoblade Chronicles 2 looks really good, and it's an RPG, and I've been really waiting for an RPG to come out for the Switch. And so I think I might take the jump on this one. I'm not sure.
And you never played the first one on the Wii, right?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I
But
didn't
the
play
Wii hogged
either,
up
but
the
I
whole
always,
television.
Yeah, but I always heard from the people who did play that was one of the best games on Wii. So, and I know a lot of people super interested in this Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So
Exactly. And so
you're probably in a good spot to pull the trigger on it.
It might be the one. So I think it comes. What did you say? It comes out Friday?
Yes.
Yeah. So I might be trying to check this one out. I don't know, because it's like, with money kind of floating around, it's the holiday season. You always kind of, I always kind of feel guilty buying myself something right now. That's why I think I opted for the toolbox instead of the TV, because the TV would have just been what I want, but the toolbox really was a need for the garage. And it's been
that was a house purchase.
Situation.
That's
exactly
that is for the house.
Yeah.
So that wasn't selfish.
Right.
I thought,
but I haven't bought Super Mario Odyssey yet, just because money, and then so it's like hard to make the decision, man. Golly.
I hear you.
Because I mean, that's supposed to be amazing, but this is supposed to be good too. So I don't, we'll have to wait and see what happens.
Let's just get your internet put together first, shall we? Let's get that on and popping before you do anything else.
One
and then
thing
we'll
at a time, so I can download that day one patch.
Baby steps, brother. Baby steps.
Jeez Louise.
Anyway, all right. So that's it for new releases. Obviously, no NPD for November. I'll be really curious to see how this November fares versus last year. So we shall see. We did have one. Oops, Dan Allen at MTTG Player One. Sorry, Ed. It was Timmy O'Toole that fell down the well, not Tommy. But I'm sending you love all the way down that well anyway, Ed.
There you go.
And you know what we found out? It actually wasn't Timmy O'Toole that fell down the well.
It was Timmy's grandfather, right?
Well, it was Timmy Martin from the original
Timmy
Lassie.
Martin. That's right.
But Timmy O'Toole was from The Simpsons, where they were making a spoof of Lassie.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So a corrective oops on Mr. Ed's part.
Right.
Well played, sir.
A couple people, I think, in Lassie fell down wells.
Yeah, there's always somebody that fell down a well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just kind of become a thing of
a
someone
trope.
fell down the well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Timmy's in the well. Mm-hmm. Somebody else got pushed into a well. I think it was a grandfather or somebody. I don't remember.
There's always somebody.
Yeah.
Always somebody going down
Those
a
were the
well.
days.
I don't know why they're hanging around a well, but whatever. It's all good. That is it for me, everybody. So back to you.
Chris McCracken?
So we all know that PlayerUnknown Battleground is just a phenomenon, if you will.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's crazy. It's it's on it's on PC and it's been selling like crazy. It's coming to Xbox One here pretty quick. I'm actually, I think I saw the other day that there's a pre-order link up for it now on the Xbox store, so you can actually go ahead and pre-order it, which I need to get on that because I definitely want to check it out finally, since I don't really play on PC. And we just know it's been selling like crazy. Well, now apparently it's going to be coming to mobile.
Yes.
And so developer Tencent has announced that they are working with the developer of PlayerUnknown Battleground Bluehole.
It's 50 Cent's company.
And yeah, exactly. And they said that they're going to be bringing it to mobile, and they're promising a similar experience as the PC. Although, as should be obvious, it remains to be seen how the company will translate the shooter to a small screen. I don't see how in any way this can go well.
Listen, have you guys played PUBG?
No. I have not.
I haven't either, but I just can't imagine that it's going to be any good on the mobile phone.
The only way that I could see this being decent on mobile is if you're using a tablet of some sorts and you connect like a Bluetooth controller, like maybe. But like if you're having to like tap on a screen and like swipe and swipe and swipe and move and like tap down to go duck or whatever, how in the world is that going to be an enjoyable experience?
I do not like on-screen controls.
No,
they're horrible. Right? Have they been done well ever? I mean, the only time I liked them, I remember I played some game on my phone, like, you know, when you're just bored and trying to find something. And I remember the directional button was wherever you put your thumb down instead of like down in the corner. You could kind of like just kind of place your thumb wherever and move it up, down, and around. And I was like, okay, I like that. But like anytime you're attacking something or zooming in to shoot or something, like I can't imagine. The Bluetooth controller was the only way I could see this being okay.
Yeah, it's just weird.
I mean, I understand why they're giving it a go. I mean, the game is a phenomenon, so
like
why
you might
not?
As well.
They're gonna make money on it, but I'll give it a look and see how it looks whenever it goes. But I just can't imagine, especially on a phone. Like again, I could maybe see on a tablet when you have a larger screen, and again, if you attach like a Bluetooth controller of some sort, but. There's no way the swipey move down, tap, tap, tap. No, I'm not doing that. I'm sorry.
Right.
It's just not what I'm going to do. No, it sure does.
It seems like it would be less stress-inducing, though. Like, when I play those kind of games on my computer, like, it's stressful. Playing H1, you know, just any of those big, you know, sandbox fighting games like that where you're trying to be the last one standing. It's always, like, really tense. So I wonder if the mobile will kind of, like, it will not feel like that. It'll just feel like you're playing a mobile game quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we will see. So EA's stock took a hit.
Yeah.
EA's stock took a hit because of this Battlefront 2 fiasco.
Oh, yeah.
They're down 8.5% month to date. And when the S&P 500's up 2%. And so it wiping out a $3.1 billion of shareholder value.
Wow.
With a B.
Man.
Wow.
While Take-Two and Activision Blizzard, who I think do the loot boxes correctly, their shares went up 5% and 0.7% respectively during the same time period. And so people are not trying to stay around for that.
Right?
Which sucks because, you know, anybody ever like lost control in a car? Like where the back is kind of skidding out?
Yep.
I feel
only
like
on purpose.
Same to my point, you gonna straighten it out usually.
Yeah.
And so, could you imagine if your car started fishtailing and you jumped out the car? That's what this feels like to me.
Wow.
Right.
We have one hiccup on some loot box stuff that they fixed before the launch of the game, and you want to jump out the car midway through fishtail.
Right.
You only gonna hurt yourself or catch your leg under one of the back wheels. And so, I hate that EA boy. Golly. These jokers give it such a hard time. Like, and I understand that public opinion and everything plays a big role in these things nowadays. But it's like, come on, man. They tried to fix it. That should say something about a big company that says, we hear you, we see you, we'll take it off, and we'll try to figure it out and re-put it back in the game when it's right. Instead of being a company that said, sorry, y'all hate this, sorry, we're going to put it in there anyway. I don't know. It
The
bugs me.
crazy thing is that so like another company, whoever, pick your developer, and they do something that maybe fans are upset with, and then they do the whole like, we hear you, we're adjusting, whatever. It's just because of EA's past reputation, having been, nominated as one of the worst companies and blah, blah, blah. So people just by default don't believe them when they open their mouth. That's why it makes it even harder for them. Because like if some other developer did this who has a track record of everybody loving them, people would be like, well, they're listening and they're trying to do it. But it's just because it's like whenever you do, it's like everybody always remembers the bad thing you do way more than any of the good things. It's like you have to do way more good to erase the bad memories. And because there's so many bad memories tied with EA, it's like they just can't afford stuff like this because it's just going to set you right back to where you were,
Right.
And it's unfortunate for them because like if you just look at it objectively, which come on, this is the internet. But if you do, it's like, hey, they're handling this thing, the best way possible. But that's not how it looks because it's like, but you got a history of all this crazy stuff, bad company.
You're right.
It just sucks for them, man.
It really does.
They can't catch a break.
I know. And I feel like I might be wrong about this. But I feel like, don't we all deserve a break at some point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we all make mistakes. I feel like the internet forgets.
There's a reason why prison has parole, because you get a second chance. There's a reason why prison has parole.
I just feel bad because, with the whole loot system, they gave the public what they wanted. It's kind of like, they got rid of they scrapped their entire, what they had set up.
Yes.
And then people are still like, I'm still mad at you. It's like, what do you want?
Yeah, exactly.
I think
there's
there's
only so much that you can do and or say to make it up.
But I do think a part of that reason, aside from all the other factors we just mentioned, that people were still upset is because they didn't say like, oh, we're getting rid of this. They very much put it in this is a temporary suspension until we figure out what's going to make you people less upset. Then we're going to get away with what we can.
Forget about it.
Yeah. So
but don't you feel like that's still doing it the right way? It's not like microtransactions don't exist.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I agree
like,
that
we're still
going to
have the thing.
It's like that's why people are still upset because to them it's like, oh, this is, but they're still there. There's still a problem, and you got all the people complaining about like, oh, we want this. This is gambling, and this needs to be ruled as gambling so that it's illegal, and blah 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 blah. So you mentioned loot boxes, period, and then the fact that they already were irritated with EA. It's all going to compound, and they're just not going to let go.
Yeah, it just bugs me. I'm like, gosh, I hate that we, can jump to such conclusions, and I don't know.
Yeah,
it happens.
Yeah.
Chris, what else you got, brother?
So do you guys remember Assassin's Creed Rogue? It was the game that came out after Black Flag that essentially was, at least gameplay wise, the same thing as Black Flag. It had all the ship combat and stuff that Black Flag did.
Yep.
But it featured a different protagonist, and this protagonist was actually a Templar hunting assassins. So it was a little bit of a different spin on the story. But it was only released for the 360 and the PS3 at the time. And I was always super interested in it because I really liked Black Flag, and I was like, I want to play that one. And the whole spin on, playing as a Templar or someone that was an assassin that turned to be a Templar, I was like, oh, that seems really cool. I want to see what that's all about. So much so that actually a couple, I think it was in August during the time we were about to transition to the move, it went on sale on backwards compatibility on the Xbox 360.
Oh, nice.
So I bought it and I downloaded it, and then I was without internet, and I was planning to play it during that time when I was without internet at the new house, and I ended up not playing anything because I was doing so much house stuff. Right. So I actually have it on the hard drive, but it seems like it's finally going to be coming to the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One as a remaster, which is what I really wanted the whole time. The only reason I ended up buying the 360 backwards compatible one is because I was like, well, I guess I would have figured it would have come out by now, but if it's not going to, then I'll go ahead and get this. So now I may just hold off and check out the remastered because I'd rather have it in a higher resolution, but it looks like it might be officially coming because it's been listed by 3 different Italian retailers, just listed as Assassin's Creed Rogue HD. So obviously it's kind of like when stuff gets leaked on Amazon, over in France and whatnot, where it's just a name. We don't really have any concrete evidence, but this is the best evidence we've ever had that it's finally going to get pushed around to the current gen consoles, and I'm super excited about it. Whichever way I play it, whether the version I already own or this one. Yeah, I heard some good things about it too. I remember when it came out, obviously everybody was all in the PS4, Xbox One, so nobody really paid it much attention, but I feel like it got really pretty good reviews, if nothing else because it's using such solid combat that we had in Black Flag, which
Exactly.
universally almost everybody loved that game for an AC
That's
game
right.
of the old style.
That's right.
So I'm super excited to see if this actually comes out, and whether I play it the backwards compatibility version that I already own, or I play this remastered version, I can't
Right.
wait to finally jump into it.
There you go. Yeah, I'd forgotten all about Rogue. Nice. That should be a fun time. I hope you like it.
I know, right?
Me too. And I think the protagonist, I think he's like Scottish, if I remember right, or something.
Ooh, I would do the accent, but it would sound Mexican.
Do it.
Because that's how all my accents either end up sounding Mexican or Jamaican.
It's all right, lad.
Yeah.
You'll get there.
It looks like Kellogg's is going to bring out a Super Mario Odyssey cereal.
Oh, that's healthy.
It'd be oats and marshmallow based, and people have been doing all kind of, backdoor looking at different, websites like Walmart and stuff like that to see if it's in the system, and it is. It's in the Target system actually right now for $3.14.
You gotta
And it
get
says,
that, huh?
yeah, and it says there's a cereal enthusiast website that
Of course
posted
there
this.
is. Of
And
course
this-
there is.
And listen to the name of it. This is such a great website name for them. Seriously.net. Spelled like cereal.
I love it.
So good.
Nice.
And so they confirmed the existence of the cereal and a functional amiibo box. So we'll see.
So you're gonna tap your cereal box onto your Switch. Be like,
Exactly. So we don't obviously know what that means because they got the artwork for the front of the box. And when it talks about the amiibo, it says, see back for details. And so we don't have the back of the box, but we have the front of the box that says it's an amiibo box. So
what's the official title of this? Do we know?
the official title is Super Mario Cereal. And the picture is him wearing the hat with the eyes on it from, and like the marshmallows are like the coin box and,
Okay, all right.
a red mushroom, a green mushroom.
I wish they would have gone with just like Super Mario's or something, because otherwise it's
there
like
you go.
that's like Super Mario bread. Like it's so plain.
Right, exactly.
Exactly. It should be. It should be a branch off of SpaghettiOs. It should be Super Mario's.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. There you
Man, they just need to talk to me. I'll take care of this.
go. So we don't know when it's coming out, but hopefully it's coming out good soon, and we get a taste. I'll buy a box
Yeah, I'll
Really?
try it.
just to put it
I'll
on the
try it.
shelf. Yeah,
Yep.
I don't know if I'll eat it.
Well,
But,
I was gonna
Oh
say,
no,
will
you got to
open the
try
box?
it. No, you have to try it, Gabe.
I might just play stare at it in the box.
Okay.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, we'll see. Chris, what else you got, brother?
Okay, so the last thing that I got, if you guys will remember, a couple weeks ago, it was after about the time I did the last round of the raid, before the one we were trying to set up last night with Mr. Gabe.
Mhm.
I would just kind of spoke a little bit about Destiny. I was like, look, I'm a little, I just kind of feel like I've done everything, and until some more content comes out, I'm just kind of, I still enjoy the gameplay, but there's just not a whole lot of reason. We got all these other games coming out. They had announced that the next expansion, something of Osiris, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, was going to be Curse of Osiris, is going to be coming out. I think it's December 5th is when it's going to drop. And Bungie had been doing all of these, or they had scheduled out these live streams, and they've done this in the past for their other expansions where they have like a couple of live streams where they'll show like, here's some multiplayer stuff, here's some story content stuff, and then here's like some information about maybe the raid or the weapons you're going to be getting or all these different kinds of things. And as I said, since I'd kind of walked away from Destiny for a little while to play other games, I hadn't really had my thumb on the community's pulse, if you will. But apparently a lot of people are really irritated with Destiny 2 right now. A lot of people have been leaving Destiny 2, and people have been so upset and letting Bungie know about it that they've actually canceled their live stream that they were going to do today for Curse of Osiris. And instead, they're going to be publishing a blog post to tell all the high priority information about the system, because apparently people are not happy with Bungie. They're not happy with the lack of communication they feel when you compare it to how how communicative Bungie was in the previous generation of their in Destiny 1, if you will, throughout most of that generation.
Wait, so what are people mad about?
They're mad that, well, recently there was an issue where they were having a double XP weekend, and there was some kind of, I guess you could say, questionable double XP leveling, if you will. So like you were supposed to be earning double XP on everything that you did, but they had it capped at certain areas, and they made you earn extra XP before it would finally jump up a level. You weren't earning it at the certain amount. And the reason that that's kind of a big deal is because every new level that you go, you get a bright engram, which in a sense is basically Destiny's version of the loot box. And it's the only way to earn it in game is to level up your character. And so they some people on Reddit did a test and they're like, hey, Bungie's actually, this double XP is not working right. Like it's gated, and it's not just being a straight double XP like it should be. And then Bungie came out and confirmed that actually was the case. They're like, oh, we're going to dial that back and we're going to turn that off. We're not happy with how the system's going, and we hear your feedback and blah, blah, blah. And then when they did that, it subsequently doubled the amount of XP that you need in order to gain the next level. So you needed 80,000 XP to gain a level. Now you needed 160,000. So it's like all these people. So on top of the fact that people are annoyed by what they presume is kind of a lack of content to do, and then the lack of communication on when Curse of Osiris was going to come out and what all was going to be involved with it, and it finally started showing up. And then this double XP kind of fiasco that's going through, they just feel like Bungie's not really, I guess, being real fair with the community, not like they were in Destiny 1. Like something's different. And so they're trying to voice their opinions. And apparently, I mean, it's to a big enough of a fever pitch that they've canceled their live stream, I guess, because they feel like it was just going to be a bunch of negativity from the comments and whatnot. Instead, they're just going to kind of address the community through blog posts, and then there's supposed to be an AMA coming out, I think, in a couple weeks with Luke Smith, who is the director of Destiny 2. I don't know whether that's still going to be happening. Right now, it hasn't been mentioned whether it's going to happen or not. I can't believe that it would be a positive thing if he goes and does an AMA, but Destiny's in a bit of a bit of a pickle at the moment, because it's like fans are not. It's like they I don't know how to really explain this, but they fixed so many things about Destiny 1 that people didn't like in terms of like story content, and all that was good, but it's like they abandoned everything else about the game that made it worth coming back to. Or not abandoned, but they changed it in such a way that there's no real true reward for doing it, or you earn all the rewards for doing it so fast that then you run out of reasons to play the game outside of just enjoying it.
Yeah.
And so I didn't realize that the community was in such an uproar about this, but when I saw that they were canceling a live stream, which they've never done, and they've done these live streams, like I said, for every expansion that's ever come out, I was like, oh my gosh, the Destiny community must be really in an uproar over this.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I found all this out.
What was going on with that?
Yeah, unfortunately, I found this all out like kind of late last night, and I've been trying to scramble and get as much details as I can. Maybe next week I'll have a little bit more info and I can break it down a little bit better. So I'm a little in the dark on some of these aspects myself, trying to figure it all out and go to multiple different areas. Because I'm not on Reddit really, so I know that's where the majority of the community these days kind of voice all their opinions and whatnot. So I need to do some digging and kind of search around. But I thought that was crazy. I mean, Bungie's always been, from my perspective and what I've understood, has always been one of the developers that's been held up as, oh, they communicate so great and they're so great about like dealing with the community and all that kinds of stuff. So to see this change, not necessarily on them saying that they changed, but to see the community's reaction change, it's kind of like, wait, what? I mean, this is Bungie. This isn't EA. I mean, come on now. I mean, what you got going on here? It's like, I find it hard to believe, as we've discussed plenty in this show and in other ones, the internet's the internet. So I have a feeling like the internet's probably just overreacting for not many reasons right now, but I don't really have quite enough information to really form a judgment. I mean, I still enjoy the game. Heck, I was trying to raid last night, and I'm still going to try to raid again this coming weekend.
Like, that's not going to affect anything.
Keep hope alive.
I don't know. It's kind of nuts, just the way.
I kind of hate when companies do that, though, when they respond very quickly to these kind of backlashes, I guess you could say, and then decide to cancel an event that was previously scheduled, because I kind of understand.
Yeah, that in particular is a little weird.
It's a little weird, but I think it's like, well, all we're going to get is comments about this, and it's not going to focus on what we're trying to accomplish here. But at the same time, it's like, it is the internet, and you have to just power through it, and still don't let that dictate your schedule and what you have in mind.
Yeah.
Well, my thing is like it seems like a great opportunity as well to explain yourself.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, go ahead and do the live stream. Don't just do a blog post. Like, I think more people would have seen the live stream than would go read the blog.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
So that, to me, that just seems a little weird that they would do something like that so quickly and just so it sounds like it was like a knee-jerk reaction just to, we're just going to cancel this because all we're going to get is backlash anyway, and all, it prevents them from really moving forward, and I don't think you should do that. I think you should just keep powering through.
I will say that...
What are you going to do, offend them more?
There was some embargo stuff that came up about Curse of Osiris because it's going to be dropping soon. And so people have been giving their impressions, people from like IGN and whatnot who have gone and actually played through the expansion. And they have mostly been saying, from what I have read, that it's the story content is, while it's good and entertaining, it's very short-lived. There's not much there to it. The enemies are just like a new skin on them. Like it feels like it's just more of the same as what you have in the current Destiny, which somebody that's a little more cynical than I at the moment could probably say like, all Destiny's just been more Destiny. And that's to some extent true, but it's like, look, the game and then this first expansion was probably already well and underway of being developed by the time the Destiny 2 dropped. It's like, it's going to take them an expansion or two before they can really change the narrative of an expansion. You know, it's like they're not going to be able to turn on a dime. So I kind of expected that whatever this first expansion, probably the first two, is not going to be that much of a difference from what we had in the past, kind of thing. Not every game or not every expansion is going to be able to be like the Taken King. Like when Destiny 1 had the Taken King drop, which was part of year 2, like that was a big change for Destiny. Like that was an expansion that was like, whoa, this is really meaty and really like adds a lot of cool stuff into the game. It's like not every expansion is going to be able to be that. It's going to take a little bit more time for that to happen.
Right.
So, I don't know.
Interesting.
It's a bummer because, like I said, obviously, like I'm a fan of the game, and I've always thought the community was really positive and really supportive, and not that they necessarily aren't as a whole, because you just get the loud people on Twitter and whatnot, but I want to see this game do well, not only because it finally came to PC. It's like the community is bigger and has more places that you can play the game than ever. It's like I just want to see the game thrive because I enjoy it, and so stuff like this kind of bums me out.
Yeah.
This War of Mine got a board game.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah. So if you have not heard of this War of Mine, it's a really cool game, kind of about scavenging and trying to stay alive, really, in like war-torn someplace. And I don't remember. We do have it on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
If you want to go check it out. This War of Mine, The Little Ones. But there's a board game, and I thought that was really cool. The thing I thought was weird was like they put the age range as 8 to 11.
What?
And I'm like, ugh.
Wow, okay.
Why in the world would it be that young? Because you play the game and you're starving to death, and you're trying to make a bed so you can sleep in, and you're taking in people so they don't die, and you're going and you're shooting people. So I'd imagine the board game doesn't have all that in it, but it was just interesting that the age range was so young. I was like, huh,
yeah,
that's really interesting. So yeah, it's called This War of Mine, the board game, and you can get it pretty much everywhere. Walmart, Target, CoolStuffInc.com. Check it out if you like board games.
Right. There you go.
Chris, you're out, yeah?
Yes.
Edward.
Yeah.
What you got for us?
Let's see, over on the YouTubes, new on our new tubes, we have, I forgot I played this last week, Batman, The Enemy Within, episode 3 from Telltale.
Yes.
And, I feel like with Batman and Guardians of the Galaxy, the last few episodes they've released, I feel like they've been padding them. Like, we could have done this in half the time. So, yeah, it's just getting a little, I don't know, for a Batman game, it was a little too talky for me.
Interesting.
And as, coming from someone who's a big fan of story, that's kind of saying something.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it at least interesting talking? But I guess not.
Not really. Like, it isn't kind of like, because Telltale is really good at talking. Like, they can make talking really good. and
Yes.
they do it really well. And I just kind of felt
I
like
just
they've
love that
just
phrase.
been-
They can make talking really good.
They make talk good.
Right?
They make talk real good.
Talk good make they.
I know, right? So yeah, I just feel like recently they've just been kind of like, well, it has to be this long. So what can we do? So it's just, it's still worth playing, but maybe it's worth watching. I don't know. Check it out on YouTube.
Jeez.
And as Chris mentioned, Call of Duty World War II, Part 1 and 2 up there, so you can watch him storm the beaches, get his Tom Hanks on.
Mm-hmm.
Never seen
Looking at what?
You never saw Saving Private Ryan?
it. I didn't.
Ooh.
Wow.
I wanted to. Does that count?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
No.
Go watch it.
Yeah.
No, it is.
It's
I
still
will
available.
send it to you.
It's still
Yeah.
available.
It's still around.
You know what? I think I have it digitally. I'm gonna
There you go.
It's that good, huh?
It's
Yes, it's that good.
Oh my
Fantastic, man.
gosh.
Holy cow.
What kind of investment we talking?
Don't
About-
worry about it.
It's-
Just
Just press play.
Just press play. You will
Yeah.
be sucked into it. Yeah, it's really incredible.
There you go.
No, I wouldn't have the
Wow.
children's around, that's for sure.
Oh man, I don't believe
Okay.
you.
Legs getting
Interesting.
blown off and stuff.
Oh yeah.
yeah, man.
All right. Now we're talking.
Oh my yes.
It's kind of like, this sounds weird at first, but it's kind of like Up in that the first 10, 15 minutes you're like, whoa.
Yo, the first 20 minutes
Oh
is it.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I can turn it off after that or no?
No,
No. You
What
won't
is wrong
want
with
to.
you? No.
You will definitely not want to.
Turn it off.
Gabe's like,
Such
you
a
had me
jerk.
at legs blown off.
Yeah, exactly. Legs blown off for Christmas.
Mhm.
Literally, like that is top 10 movies of all time for me.
Oh, all time, absolutely.
Maybe top 5.
I've heard a
Kind of
lot
bring-
about it.
If I had to
It's
break it
fan-
down.
It is probably one of Steven Spielberg's best masterpieces.
Mm.
Wow.
Yep.
Better than AI, huh? I'm just kidding.
Way
Better than
better.
1941?
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh, man.
Masterpiece.
I know
Yeah,
what
man,
your
you gotta see
Christmas
that.
present is now.
Yeah, seriously. I think all three of us should get him the
Three
Blu-ray
copies.
of Saving Private Ryan.
We'll get it to him on every available format.
Exactly.
Exact form available.
VHS.
Yeah.
Here's the
I'll get it
audio
to him
book.
on
Listen
VHS.
to it.
Tim is gonna
Yep.
be like, this week on the Nintendo Switch, Saving Private Ryan.
Exactly. The game for Gabe, made exclusively for Gabe.
So funny.
Oh man.
Oh,
Sorry,
man.
Edward.
No,
Oh.
you're fine. Looking at the top 10 videos for the week of November 21st through the 27th. Number 10, Gabe and Chris react to The Last of Us Part 2. Welcome back,
Whoa!
fellas.
Hey, you're back.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Speaking of welcome back, number 9, Ori and the Blind Forest Part
Oh!
14.
Oh, that felt so good.
Oh yeah.
So good.
It
That
did.
felt so good to get back
Oh.
in. Well played.
That's an oldie but a goodie right there.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
That's like we just went to the jukebox. Like, ooh, you guys remember this
Ooh.
one? Thornfeld Swamp. Mm.
Mhm.
It's like
Oldie
somebody
but a
like
goodie.
punched in It Takes Two or something. Like, oh,
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. Boom.
It's like when Billie Jean comes on.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, oh yeah. Except Thornfeld Swamp's 3 seconds long.
That's right.
You're like, I'm not sure if that was worth my 50 cents.
You can just put it on repeat.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Number 8, Hugh Part 8, Green.
Ah, here we go.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know.
yeah. Back
Number
to reality.
7,
Back to
Hugh
reality.
Part 7, Yellow. Number 6, Hugh Part 9, Mountains.
All
Number
right, all
5, Hugh Part 4, Pink.
What the
Number
world?
4, Watch Dogs 2, Part 48, Ghost Signals. All right.
Okay.
Number 3, Watch Dogs 2, Part
There we go.
19, Paint Job. Getting back to the oldies.
Yeah, oldie but goodies.
Number 2, Hugh Part 10, University. Number 1, Hugh Part 11, Ending.
Cheaters.
Man,
Cheaters.
I wish I'd have played that game.
I'm telling you,
I
it is a
guess.
fun game. I mean,
Okay.
it's I don't know if it's 18 weeks in the top 10 fun. But
That's awesome.
yeah,
Well, it is now.
yeah, that's right.
exactly.
Apparently, it is.
That is funny. Thank you, Eduardo.
You betcha.
Well, every week we ask you guys a question. Last week was no different. We asked you guys, what did you pick up on Black Friday or Cyber Monday? That's right. Starting over on the forum, we've got friggin' Nutcase. He said, I got a great deal on some unflat pillows. Fluff puff.
I will not be
Well,
partaking.
Go
enjoy
back-
your paper, sir.
Yeah, I have to go. Yes, enjoy your head support.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go back to last week to know what we're talking about.
That's right.
Spam humbug. We have tended to avoid Black Friday shopping, but as it happened, we needed to replace the living room TV. So I can say now, I've braved a Costco on Black Friday.
Yes, sir. You got it.
Hashtag never again.
Again.
Right?
Jeez.
Heard that.
Greg Leg. Does ordering a pizza for dinner on Friday count?
Sure.
Otherwise, we stayed in and marathoned Mindhunter until some friends came over to socialize and consume said pizza.
Nice. There you go.
I love that.
Right?
That's great. Star Fury Zeta over on Discordia. It's Black Friday and I'm going to work. I'd rather be stuck in a cubicle for 8 hours talking TPS reports than fighting the masses.
Nice.
I like that.
I like it too. Mark Boucher, I believe the Jackbox Party Pack 4 was on sale for Black Friday, so I picked that up and also got a Black Friday deal for Wonder Woman on Blu-ray for $7. Took advantage of Cyber Monday to get my wife a Google Pixel phone for her birthday.
Oh,
Hey. All
I
right.
like that. We got a new one. We haven't heard this name on the podcast yet. Lil Stancil.
What?
Lil
Man,
Stancil.
freaking
Love it.
Stancil. Oh, my
Freaking
gosh.
Stancil.
freaking
Got
Lil
the-
Stancil.
Got the kids in on it.
That's right.
This is the first Black Friday I actually bought something. I've been
Ah.
saving all year for a gaming laptop. I found a great deal and was able to order an HP Omen gaming laptop.
Wow.
Oh, that's awesome.
I can't wait till it arrives. Oh, I'm still like this, but to a kid, it's got to be even crazier. Like when I order something that I'm excited about, and the UPS guy even drives through my neighborhood,
Uh-huh.
I'm like a dog whose owner left 3 years ago.
Right.
I'm like,
when
oh my
it's
gosh,
not-
is it you? Is it you?
And when it's
Oh.
not, that's so painful.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah, you just hear like the Peanuts Christmas song come on. every time.
Charlie Brown. You're doing the Charlie
Yeah.
Brown walk.
Bling bling
Yep.
bling bling bling
Mhm.
bling 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 bling, or the Incredible Hulk ending music.
Oh, yeah, shit.
Dee-dee-dee-dee, or whatever it was. I don't remember what it
Mash.
was. Oh, bloom boom bling doom, bloom doom bling doom, whatever it was. I don't remember. I just remember it sounding sad as he was trying to hitchhike.
Right.
Over on Facebook, sorry. Caitlin Chelsoy, she says, nada. We're about to close on a house on the 8th. Congratulations.
Hey.
Hey.
So we couldn't. We definitely wanted to, though. Hey, I'm with you on the definitely wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Chad Fackler, I picked up several more Echo Dots for the house.
Ooh, there you
Now,
go.
Nice.
instead of yelling from room to room, the wife and I can yell at Alexa to drop in to another room and talk. We still end up yelling, but in a more high-tech way.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
High tech yelling. That's great.
I love
Yeah,
that.
I like high-tech yelling. Sean Chalner, I bought one, Google Home Minis. I bought one for me to compare with the Amazon Echoes I had already pre-ordered. I now have 4 of them in the house and 3 others for Christmas gifts. And I still have 3 Echoes coming next week when they
Jeez.
finally release in Canada.
Oh, wow.
He's gonna have himself a round table.
Right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
He's about to do some high tech yelling.
Yeah, to each other. Hey, Google, Alexa.
What is your name?
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be like me with the kids. I'm like, Timmy, Mark, Jake, Ribbit. Which one? Y'all want the brown one? Get off that. The darker brown one. The darker brown one. You, Milo, not you.
Sweet Milo.
I know, Sweet Milo got no melanin. At Dante's Belmont over on Twitter. In 4K, Wonder Woman, Watchmen, Blu-ray, Lion King, PS4, BioShock collections.
Oh, yes.
2 towel sets, 2 comforters, 2 shirts, a giant teddy bear for the missus.
Nice.
Total damage, $80.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Thankful for Target and Best Buy. I know
And
that's
a
right.
partridge in a freaking pear tree.
Yeah, it cost you
Right?
$80 just to win one of them teddy bears at a carnival, so
That's right.
it definitely came out ahead.
Right.
At Nate Inberg, no shopping, just boogie boarding in the Pacific Ocean.
Oh, beautiful.
Hashtag ocean life.
Beautiful.
Ooh wee. I
Nice.
like that.
Love
Yeah,
that.
that sounds really good. And at Lord Kelmar, Stellaris DLC. I've never played before, and so far I've spent 2 days creating a civilization. Woo wee.
Oh, wow. There you go.
That sounds fun to me.
Right?
Well, you guys know where to find us. Facebook.com/Married to the Games, Twitter.com/MTTGcast. You can come check out the website, marriedtothegames.com. Like Ed said, YouTube.com/Married to the Games. And now on Patreon, Patreon.com/MTTG. Feeling good, feeling fine.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris McCracken.
Nice.
Rate us on iTunes so we can start selling Oh Yes Yes Y'all cereal now with Amiibo support.
Hey!
Love it.
Nicely done, Christopher.
Well played, Chris. Well played.
Well, let's get into some questions.
All right. Before we get into the questions, we do want to give our condolences to Mr. Matt Leidy.
Yes.
Before the Thanksgiving break, he lost his mother, Janice. She was actually a listener to the podcast every
Yeah,
time.
she would listen every now and then.
It was so sweet. Like Matt had told me that he had, Matt and Aaron were in the car. She was in the car. His daughter was in the car, and they would all just be listening and laughing to the podcast. So, Matt, we're with you, brother. We love you. And
Yeah, she had a better
yeah,
place,
we are.
brother.
yeah, absolutely. So
No more suffering, Bishop.
exactly,
Right.
exactly. So we're with you. Let's move on to email. You can always email us at mailbag@marriedtothegames.com. And I wanted to also say a huge shout out to Fat Tooth Fairy. He sent us an amazing email that I've forwarded along to all the guys.
Yeah, he did.
There's some personal information on there, so I didn't want to read it out loud. But basically, he was praising our community and how much our community has impacted his life. So we cannot thank you enough for those, man. I always love reading those emails from people. It is just amazing to see how this community just rallies together and really can bond people together, and it's fantastic. So thank you.
Anytime we get an email like that, I'm like, well, I'm doing this for another 5 years. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm always like, that's why we're doing this. This is awesome. So, all right, so let's actually get into some email with our boy Braylon Jones. What's up, everybody? It's been a while and wanted to get your thoughts. I have an interview with a company in Dallas, Texas on Monday,
Hey!
and I really hope I get it. I've never been outside of Ohio, outside of living in Charlotte, North Carolina for a couple of months, so I have no idea what to expect. So, Chris, this is all for you. What are some of your favorite things about Dallas, and what are some interesting things to do there? Wish me luck and love you all.
Interesting things to do here. There's a lot of people don't necessarily think about this because like compared to a Colorado or something, there's not mountains and all that kind of stuff. But there's actually a lot of good trails and different. I'm gonna say hiking in the terms of like just because you can walk trails, but there's a lot of different trails and terrain. It's not once you get here and you realize that hey, Texas is a big place and wherever you go, it's going to take a little bit of driving. So that's going to take some getting used to. But once you get to that. Like there's a lot of there's kind of all kinds of terrain that you can find around Texas in general. So Dallas really isn't all that far from if you want to go south just a little ways and you can go to Waco or then you can go down to Austin. And there's all kinds of different areas that you can go see terrain wise if that's what you're kind of looking for. Outside of that, I mean, obviously we have the normal stuff here. Like we have different theme parks. We have a lot of different little areas where it has the very small town kind of Western feel, but also has the modern, more hip feel, whether that be in Dallas or in Fort Worth. And between the two, because Dallas and Fort Worth are pretty much lumped together all the time, Fort Worth is the more kind of Western-y feeling side. So if you want a little bit more of that flair, you can go over that side. They have like the stockyards and the old historic towns over there that you can go check out. In the Dallas, more in the downtown area, it's much more modern and kind of just as, I don't know if hip's the right word, but kind of more up to where everything is as you would see like in a LA or something like that. You can definitely get some LA vibe, feel stuff over there. Cultural wise, you can get almost a little bit of everything in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, in my opinion. Obviously, if you're a sports fan, there's a lot of different things to do here. Be it, basketball and football and baseball. We have hockey. There's a lot. We have not just major league, but also have minor league teams for pretty much all those sports. There's always something going on, sports related, in the Metroplex that you can find and go get your fix on with. And then just food. I mean, there's tons of places to eat around here and all kinds of different food. And it's really a lot of fun. And you could say this about almost anywhere, but I will say, because we're talking about Dallas and Fort Worth and specifically, like there's tons of just little mom and pop kind of hole in the wall, like you wouldn't off the beaten path kind of places that you can find that will just delight you over and over and over. You can find them all over the place. Yelp will be your friend. I'll tell you that much. Just
That's
go all
awesome.
around. Yeah.
I like it.
That's great. Thanks, Chris. I want to come to Dallas and see you now.
Come on, man. I got an extra room now.
Do a commercial.
Let's do it. Well, good luck to you, Braylon. Hope the interview goes well.
Yeah,
and,
really.
man, yeah, if you definitely land this job, Chris is your boy for Dallas. That is for sure.
Let's hit it up.
And D-High.
And D-High, yeah, absolutely. All right, moving on. Travis Prospicel, just wondering what your thoughts are on net neutrality. Oh, okay, we're going to open this can of worms. It's a topic that affects every single person listening to this. December 14th, the new proposal is voted on. It's not too late to act. And then he also gives us an explanation of net neutrality in case you wanted to go over it again. I'm just, I don't know how I feel about it yet. It's just like, I can't imagine that, I don't see how common sense won't prevail in this, because it just seems like it opens the gates to so many extra
other
fees
things.
and just all kinds of stuff. And the internet is supposed to be kind of an open, free world here, and to try and compartmentalize it, I think would be horrible. So, but I've always thought, nobody uses common sense anymore anyway. So I'm sure I'll be paying Comcast more for whatever down the road. So we'll see.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah.
I go with what Tim just said.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll as we get closer, we'll talk about it, especially after the 14th, when whatever is decided is decided. But yeah, it's one of those. Do we have to talk about it? I kind of don't want to talk about it right now.
Yeah, exactly. But it affects so much of
the
what we
old
do.
Exactly.
Just remember that regardless of what ends up happening, it can all be changed back or changed better for the good, or back to the good in a way, depending on how whatever your point of view is, because it's not like a constitutional amendment where it takes 2/3 of Congress and the Senate to get it switched.
That's right.
All you got to do is, if the people who make the decisions now don't make you happy, when the next voting season comes up, vote different people in that have more things that align with what you think, and then it can go change back. It's not going to be the end of the world necessarily. Things aren't going to change the day after it happens. It's going to take time, and the market will fix itself.
And we're not China or North Korea.
Just stay vigilant.
Like, you know what I'm saying? If you're ever feeling bad about it, just remember we don't live in those two places.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, and I honestly think a lot of it is that people just don't understand it, and they don't really care right now because it may not really affect them right now. But if down the road it does, then, the people will rise up. And that's how we, as you said, Chris, that's how we voice our opinions, and that's how we get things done. We vote on people, and
and sometimes you need, like you were saying, some people don't understand. And, I'm not going to begrudge somebody who doesn't take the time or is too busy to go. But it's like, if it does affect them, then they're going to learn about it, and then they'll move to rise up and make a change,
It will affect me greatly because that's my job. I'm a web developer. I need the internet. The internet is my lifeline. So, if I'm going to get charged more for doing this, that, and the other, or, if I can't do the things, if I can't do my job, that's a problem.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. If you feel led and you're important, this issue is super important to you, write your congressman, call your congressman, do all the stuff that you feel led to do.
Yeah.
But just understand that if it goes through anyways, the sun will rise the next morning and we'll get this thing straightened out. It will work.
Just like a new president, same thing. Yeah, sorry, didn't mean to rub salt in that wound. All right, moving on. Let's go to Discord. Chowfie, now that Ed has given VR a chance, will he show the Switch some love?
Ooh.
Ed, can I say it with you?
Well, let me just say, I've played the Switch. And so if by giving it a chance, I mean buy one? No.
No, exactly.
But you would play it if it was around and the controllers felt like working.
Like Gabe, if I came over and you had the Switch on, of course I'd play it with you. But I'm not gonna go buy one.
Yes.
But I think Ed's gonna buy like 2 or 3 more VRs. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
that sounds like.
And it's to me, it's just one of those things that, like I know Showtime and Stars have good shows on them that are critically acclaimed. I hear people talk about them. I'm still not going to get Showtime just because they don't appeal to me. And it's kind of the same thing.
Right, exactly.
People are loving the Switch. They're loving Zelda. But it just doesn't appeal to me. And it's just not for me.
Yeah.
There you have it.
That's actually a really good analogy. I like that.
That was really good. I like it.
Very good, Ed.
I like it a lot.
Leave it to Ed to use TV and movies to put an analogy together.
I know, right? Yeah.
That's my only reference.
Bad Gamer Elite, hashtag MTTG historian. When you love what you do for work, which all of you do, how do you keep from getting burned out on it? Asking for a friend. It's not me, really. You will always have those times where you are burned out.
They call it work for a reason.
Exactly. I mean, I've been doing my work for 16 years. I love it. If I can work for myself for the rest of my life and do what I'm doing right now, I will be a very happy man. But there are always times when you are just like, ugh, I don't, I can't, I don't. And you know what? Take a day off and do something else. Have a palate cleanser, have some you time. Or if you love doing what you do some more research and learn something new about it, or learn another branch of what you're doing. And for me, like with web development, there's always things I'm always learning, and I never want to be complacent, and I always want to keep learning stuff. And that's what gets you charged back up too.
That's nice. What do you say, Ed?
Take a day off if you're allowed to.
Right. Take a personal day.
Exactly.
Right. I would just say, especially if you're getting burned out, if it's something you love to do, watch someone else who does it really, really well.
Yes. Ooh, good one.
And that might inspire you to kind of get into it again, and it might refuel that passion.
Yeah, man. Chris?
Yeah, I don't find as it is with everything just in life, not even just jobs, but there's going to be times where, you reach a rough patch or something. Like I love my dog, but there's times where she, might drive me up a wall. It's not, it's just reality.
Right.
Things aren't always going to be hunky dory all the time.
And similarly, I love hot dogs. Same kind of thing.
But every now and then, you want a corny dog instead.
Every now and then you want a hamburger.
Yeah.
There you go.
But to me, it's kind of similar to what Ed said. A lot of times, if I find myself feeling like I'm in a bit of a rut, if you will, then what it really is that the way that I'm doing things maybe has become a little too stagnant, and I realize, I need to change it up a little bit. I need to grow in my skills a little bit more. So then I will go out and look, if I haven't already been doing it, which I'm always kind of doing it anyways. I'll look for some more inspiration, or what's something that I really like. Now I want to approach this next project a little bit differently. I want to do it maybe in more this style than that, because I find that whenever you start to rest on your laurels and just do because, I got this and I can just do it how I always did it, that's when it becomes stagnant, and you start being, you're like, well, but I've been there, done that. So if you constantly challenge yourself to try, not necessarily a new thing, but maybe do what you do in a slightly different way or slightly different take, those kinds of things will keep things interesting and keep the creative juices flowing, if you will.
Yeah.
Love it. That's perfect.
I like it.
Great question. Thanks for that. Mark Boucher, what's your favorite modern Christmas song? I'd say within the past 10 years. One of my favorites is the Pentatonic song, That's Christmas to Me.
Last 10 years?
Yeah.
Shoot.
I
I don't know in the last 10 years. I mean, my most recent probably is, what's the George Michael one?
Last Christmas?
Yes. Oh, I know that's a long time ago. That's not 10 years, but like that's still, it's, you know,
Yeah, Last
it's
Christmas
newer
is
than,
good.
it's newer than Chestnuts and all that.
Right.
Yeah.
But Last Christmas, I think, is an amazing song. Oh my gosh. But I don't know one from the last 10 years that sticks out to me right now.
I don't really either, because I don't even, like, whenever Christmas music starts to play on the radio, I don't even really listen to the radio. I mostly just listen to the songs that I have or that I have on my playlist.
Yep.
So, and I don't think any of them have come out in the last 10 years. So I don't even know
Yeah,
a more
me either.
recent song.
I put that Mariah Carey on first thing.
Yeah, right?
That thing's hard to beat. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Chris has his Metallica Christmas album.
A very Metallica Christmas.
A very Metallica Christmas.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you guys. I listen to the swing Christmas stuff. That's my favorite. Bing Crosby, Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, all those guys. That's what I have on 24/7 now. I love that era, and I love all the songwriting back then. Nat Cole, like all those guys. It's just there's so many great Christmas songs. So I stay in that realm. I typically don't listen to a lot of modern Christmas songs.
Well, how about this? I don't know if this will kind of help. Do you guys have a modern take on an old song that you enjoy, like that where somebody's covered it?
Oh,
and
yeah.
You feel like
There
they've
you
done
go.
really good, maybe?
There you go.
I
Michael
don't,
Bublé.
but maybe you guys. Yes, Michael Bublé.
Michael Bublé works for me because he is like the modern crooner. So it's perfect. I love that you propose a question and don't have an answer for it.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about it. I just like I was like, oh, maybe there's a modern take on it because it was funny because I was listening to. I don't remember who it was singing the song, but somebody had obviously redone Donny Hathaway's song, and I was annoyed. And I was like, "Gosh, why does anybody try to redo this song? It's just not going to be as good." But it's funny you bring up Pentatonics. I've been listening to a bunch of their Christmas stuff lately, and they have some really cool.
They are
versions
talented.
Yeah,
I will
oh
say.
man, gosh,
Yeah.
they're incredible. And that new bass guy is awesome too. So. Chris, you have a new take on an old song that you might like? You like somebody's version?
Even this isn't super new, but I don't even think it's on an official album. It's only something you would have to find like probably on the internet or back like B-sides and stuff back in the day, or independent stuff. But Damien Rice had a version of "So This Is Christmas," or is that the name of it? The Beatles one?
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had a version of that song that I really liked, and I still have it somewhere, but I haven't. Even that one probably came out like 12, 13 or more years ago. It was just something that was recorded like from a concert or a little independent recording that got released on the internet kind of thing. I like
cool.
that one.
What's that? It's hard for me to say it's my favorite when I don't know the name of it, but it's the Toby song that's like, ha, 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 ho, 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 look through the snow or something like that. I like that one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh, what is that?
I don't know that I've heard that.
It's Jing Jingling, I think, or something like that. Jing Jingling, Jingling, Jingling. What?
Jing Jingling?
Taking grandma to the mall and stuff like that.
Yeah. Rain did it through the snow.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, what song is that?
I know.
That's going to bug me.
I'm
know,
taking
right?
grandma to the mall. Not that one.
No, that's totally different. Totally
That was
different.
amazing.
Did you say
like I
wheeling
did
grandma
last
through
year.
the mall?
Yeah, taking grandma to
Wheeling
the mall.
grandma.
through the mall. That's funny.
Mhm. All right, let's move
Not
on,
that
shall
song.
we?
Yeah.
All
Dang
right,
it, I wish I
Starfield-
knew what song that was. That bugs the crap out of me.
I don't know, but
Star-
I've heard the one y'all are talking about.
I'm telling Toby you can't remember.
You
That's
would
right.
like it. You would like it, Chris.
I believe you.
All right, Star Fury Zeta. What's the most extravagant? Oh, good lord! Let's try that again.
What's the most
What's-
extravagant?
What's the most extravagant Christmas display in your neighborhood? There. What's the most extravagant Christmas display in your neighborhood? Anybody that's got a Griswold family style Christmas house, I'm down for. It's awesome, and it's all starting to crop up now. So ask me in a week, but around here, there's a couple people that went a little nuts.
Really? We're
Yeah,
kind of
it's just-
Scrooges here in our neighborhood. We don't have we
Yeah.
didn't do Halloween all like that. I haven't seen a bunch of Christmas decorations. We definitely have to drive outside of our neighborhood to find something amazing.
Yeah, same here. There's not really much in our neighborhood.
There's plenty here.
So I'm new to my neighborhood, and I haven't gone down to the edge of the street to see if there's anything done down there. But there is one house, the only one. Like when you first turn into our neighborhood, there's a house that did it up pretty well. It's nowhere near Griswold levels, but they have stuff hanging from the trees, the lights on the house, and some figures out in the yard, and it looks cool.
Nice.
Till they put some effort into it.
Yeah,
You got to appreciate the effort.
Mm-hmm.
I forget there's a house that did it for years, like down Hillsborough Road. It was about 15 minutes from our house. And unfortunately, last year was their last year doing it. And so...
No, I saw a sign for it. It's back up.
They're going to do it again?
I think this might be the last year.
Oh, wow. Because last year they were saying last year was so like we ran out there to go see it.
Yeah,
That'd be
no,
awesome.
we
I
did
don't know
too
what
right there
neighborhood
with
that is.
Yeah, it's Sunnyside, I believe is what it's called. But yeah, I saw the sign because I noticed there's usually a sign right after Thanksgiving. And for all of you who don't know, this family at this house, they go absolutely, there's lights everywhere. And the story behind it is that their child had cancer, I believe, right?
I don't know. Oh, yeah, it was something like that. That's right, yeah.
And so, like every Christmas, this child would say, "Daddy, more lights, Daddy, more lights." So when the child passed away, he just continued that tradition for years. And like his entire neighborhood, he lives in a cul-de-sac at the end. And so his entire neighborhood participates, and it is literally just lights everywhere. And it is beautiful. And you can, he always asks for donations for cancer research. And it's a really sweet story. And people like tour buses will come by to this area for Christmas tree lights as well. And yeah, he had made that announcement that he was going to stop doing it. He usually starts in September to start stringing things up. But yeah, man, I saw the sign and I thought...
opened up your eyes?
And it opened up my eyes and I saw the sign. And
nice.
So... nice, Gabe. I walked into that one. And so definitely go check it out and see if it's there. And I will do the same.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, very cool.
I love it. Good question.
All right. All that to say... Don Starlancer, now that everything surrounding it has died down, would one of you be willing to give Mass Effect Andromeda a chance and give in progress reviews and impressions as you play? I kind of want to because I love Mass Effect, but for me, it might be too late just because there's so many other games I've got to play. But like I've heard it's still great. It's not the best, but I've heard it's still great. So I mean, I think maybe down the road, if my backlog is done and it's on sale, sure.
Yeah.
But I love that. I love the Mass Effect series.
Yeah, it would definitely have to be because I did download the demo and just never got around to it. Yeah, where they gave you the first, I don't remember how many hours. So I did start it up and play it a little bit. And I was like, okay. Oh, what's that over there? Oh, and stop playing it. But there's little buggy things about it, but it's not terrible. But I don't think I'm drawn to it. So 1, 2, 3, not it.
Not it.
I've never played the first 3 Mass Effect games, and so I just don't have like an affinity for that franchise. I respect all of it and everybody's love for it, but at the time, part of the time, I wasn't playing games, and then when I came back, it just wasn't the type of game I wanted to play. So I was never drawn to Mass Effect Andromeda just simply because it was like, yeah, I mean, it looks pretty, but I'll maybe down the road or whatever. And then you had all the issues, and I don't know. I'm never say never, but I don't have this big longing to play it one way or the other. And it really doesn't matter so much because it was buggy. I just didn't care. Even say it was great, I still didn't have much interest. So,
Yep. Nice.
Ed, same for you.
Yeah, I've never played it, and unlike Chris, I don't respect it.
Hey, all right, there you go.
Dang.
Well done.
Ed's come out to play, y'all.
Ed is
Swinging
coming
for
out.
the fences.
That's right, exactly.
Why not?
All right, moving on to Facebook, Chad Fackler. Hey, guys, any chance I could get a shout out to my wife? We just had our wedding anniversary today, the 28th, and since I make her listen to the podcast if we are traveling on the weekends, it would be fun to surprise her with a mention. Her name is Jen, and we've been playing games and loving our life together for 19 years.
Wow.
Love it.
And I can't
Love
wait for the
it.
next 19. Either way, hope everyone is having a wonderful pre-Christmas season with or without eggnog. I'm a hard not, but Jen loves this stuff. Ooh, I like that.
Good man.
Thanks for all the enjoyment. Chad, absolutely. Jen,
Jen.
Yeah.
shout out to you, girl.
Jen.
Happy anniversary. 19, that's awesome. That's what Lauren and I are as well. We are 19 years married, and it is wonderful, and I hope you have another 19 as well.
Yeah, happy
Jen.
anniversary. I'm not there yet. I'm
Jen.
chasing you, but it's going to take me a while to catch y'all at 19
Jen.
years. Yeah.
Jen.
It reminds me of
Jen.
Bat Dad because he's always yelling at his
Jen.
wife. He goes,
Jen. Jen. Oh, I love Bad Dad. So good.
Jen.
It's so funny.
Jenny.
Jen. All right. Corey, Ray, Swope. If you four
Jen.
could go on a mancation together,
Ooh.
where would you choose to go? No same answers. Chris, you dissed my pet question. Don't be trying it again.
I didn't diss the pet question. I just didn't have an
got
answer.
so much hate for that. It was great.
Jeez. I didn't hate it. It was a lovely question. I'm glad you asked it, as is
There
this
you go.
one.
I don't know.
I mean,
we
we
just dissed both of his questions.
nope.
No, this is a lovely question. I can't wait to answer.
Oh, man. Lord
I will
have
go
mercy.
last.
Oh,
Only because I have to think. I'm not good at thinking on my
Exactly.
feet. Leave me be.
no. No.
If we wouldn't have already done it, I would say
Yeah,
E3, but we did
Yes,
do it.
that was the obvious
Last
one.
year.
Yeah.
If we had to do a mancation, I wouldn't mind doing Seattle
Ah, I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, man.
with the four of us and being able to go around and see the techie things that are happening in Seattle. Obviously, we see freaking Stancil and Gil and
Right.
all of our lovely community in Washington. So, yeah, I say Seattle. Tim?
I'm going New York, baby. East Coast all the way. I
Ooh,
think all
sup
all
to
four of
you.
us
Nice.
in New
Dude.
York. That would be so much fun.
Yeah, man. New Year's Eve?
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Not on New Year's Eve. No.
Yeah, come on, man.
Come on, do it. Avoid Times Square like the plague. No.
Nah, man. Go right
You're
to
fine.
it. The belly of the beast. Let's
No,
go.
man. New York in the fall. We can all hold hands and watch the leaves fall. It'd be so much fun.
Ed?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say the City Slickers type cow roping rodeo.
Yeah, a little dude ranch action.
Yep.
Nada.
Yeah, man.
Ace of base over there is out.
Yeah, somebody
Come
go,
on.
somebody
Come
go
on,
get a somebody go get a cough all of a sudden. Like, I don't think I can. Think I
Come on,
can.
dude, we could hold hands.
That's right.
No, why does everybody want to hold hands?
Come on, man. It's a mancation.
They got to hold hands to go together. We could just go.
Here, hold my hand while I rope up this calf.
Let's hold hands. Golly. Brokeback Mountain all of a sudden. Chris?
I hope you guys
you
like this
care?
idea. Oh, I care. I care. Believe me, I care about this one. About this
a
lovely
lovely
question as
question.
well.
Yes.
I
Lovely.
say we all go to New Zealand and visit Hobbiton together.
yes.
I think that would be awesome.
We are definitely holding hands there.
Yes.
For
What
show.
in the world with the holding hand?
And there's four of us, so we can each dress like a different Hobbit. It'll be
Oh
amazing.
my God, that
Oh
would
my
be
gosh.
incredible.
Oh, shoot. Except Router would have to be Gandalf because of his
I
age.
would have to be Gandalf, yeah. Okay. Meanwhile, Ed is older, but whatever. It's all good.
I've been to Hobbiton.
Yes,
But
you
we
have.
haven't gone together.
We
Yeah,
haven't,
right.
but I was just saying that to say it was awesome. It'd be really
And we
fun.
could tour Weta Workshop, the Weta Studios. Oh, that'd be awesome.
That would be incredible. What a good call, Chris. I think you redeemed yourself with that one.
I want to go do that so
What a
bad.
good call.
Almost.
Almost.
But the City Slickers idea is really good too. I like that.
Yeah, I like that too.
None of y'all's ideas are good.
I'm
'cause it
saying
has
moo
holding
cow.
hands in it.
Sheesh.
All right.
You can't
Maybe
trust.
my-
You can't. We can't trust Gabe. He hasn't seen Saving Private Ryan. Come on now.
That's
That's true.
They hold hands in that movie?
Yeah, all the time.
There's always holding hands. There's always a time for holding hands.
It's interesting trivia. There's actually not one shot where someone isn't holding hands.
Fun fact.
I don't believe that crap for 1 second.
Well,
That's
you
gonna
better
be my
watch it
next
all to
Jack.
find out.
That's going to be my next Jackbox answer, though.
That's right. Oh, that's great. All right, moving on. Katie Mather. I saw a video the other day of pasta being served out of a giant cheese wheel. It spoke to me on a deeply personal level. Have you ever seen one of those videos of a dish from a restaurant you'd love to try?
Yeah, all of them. I'm just kidding.
All of them. Yeah, no, I'm with you.
I don't know if I've ever seen something being made and thought, ooh, yeah, let me get that when it's done. Because it's usually like I mentioned earlier, I like hot dogs. And I did mess around and accidentally see a hot dog get made. And that ruined my day.
Accidentally.
But
Yeah,
she's also,
accidentally.
it sounds like she's also talking about like a commercial. Like she saw a video of it or whatever. So it could be probably, it could be a commercial too. But yeah, dude, I'm right there with you on the hot dogs. It's like, pretty it up for me. I don't want to see how it's made.
Yeah,
just
like,
make it look good. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep. It's best just not to know.
I don't know if I don't know. I guess, you know what? I've seen a cake, like a beautiful cake, get put together. Like when they're decorating it, like in fast motion or something like that. I've been like, yeah, I'd take a bite out of that, probably. Out of that cake.
I feel like there's. Sorry. I was gonna say I feel like there's at least 3 or 4 times a day where I'll check into Facebook and there'll be one of those tasty videos, and I'm just. Well, it doesn't matter what they're making. I was like, I want some of that right now in my belly. Make it for me now.
That's awesome, Tim.
Yeah, I would say any of those videos, and then around here there's a guy that makes old-fashioned donuts, and he still has that old donut machine with
Who's
like.
that?
It's called
Old
old-fashioned
donut man.
Old-fashioned donuts. It's if you come down not this weekend, next weekend to Dickens of a Christmas at downtown Franklin, and he's always got a booth.
Is it Danny's Old Fashioned Donuts?
No, I want to say it's Ella's or something like
Yeah,
that.
Ella's. Sorry,
Ella's. Yeah,
the guy
Ella's,
who owns
yes.
it name is Danny.
Oh, okay. So all right. He's awesome, and he always hooks me up with a little additional donuts because that's the first thing I do when we get there.
Fun fact about Danny: he's got delicious donuts, but he used to be a mechanic.
What? Get out.
Yeah, he used to
Really?
I used to call him for mechanic stuff, and now he runs a donut place. Yeah,
And it's
delicious,
and they're amazing.
They
So
really are.
I love watching that machine do its magic. It's so much fun.
Donuts are good.
I love donuts.
Donuts.
Could go for one right now.
Donuts, you guys.
Ed, did you say one?
Nothing that really stands out. Usually if I see something that's being made, I'm usually like, boy, I'd like that right now, but nothing that really stood out to me.
Just anything coffee
Like,
related.
Yeah, he'll be looking
There
at
you go.
Barista Magazine and be like, "Oh, I want that latte right now."
All the freaking time.
Yep. I'll take it all.
Barista Magazine.
What?
That's a
I
thing.
subscribe.
No, I know. It's just thinking about you like flipping through a magazine, like, ooh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's so weird.
He turns it vertical and it falls down.
Yeah,
like a
exactly.
centerfold.
Dude.
What's the
Trifold
problem with these
situation.
oily beans?
I'd hold hands with that coffee.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, you would.
Yikes.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay, moving on to Twitter at Dopalicious. Out of all the iconic voices in the world, past or present, who would you most like to have on the podcast? Bonus points for impressions.
Oh gosh.
Kind of.
I mean, is it besides Troy Baker?
No, James
you know?
Earl Jones, man.
Yeah, I'll honestly, that's exactly where my head went to.
Darth Vader, Doc. He
Yeah,
doing stuff before Troy was born.
Yep.
Now,
I'm
Troy's
going
amazing. Don't get me wrong.
No,
Hold on a
no,
second.
exactly.
Right.
No,
All
I'm
right.
going old. I'm going old school as well, and I'm going Mel Blanc.
That was my answer.
Oh,
Warner Brothers. To hear, just to be able to hear all of the man of 1,000 voices is what he was titled anyway.
yes.
And just to hear him would be incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Yeah,
can
he
still
was
hear him on
awesome.
cartoons, but to actually, yeah, he would be
do you
amazing.
have a
I do not. I'm not even going to attempt to do an impression of
Ed,
Bugs,
do you have
Daffy, or any of
one
them.
of the characters?
Andale.
Yeah, you could do that, or Rocky's getting mad. See, you could do his gangster voice that he does.
I like
Right.
that, which has turned into everybody's gangster voice.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah, exactly.
Everybody's just taking that, like, take the smoke
He's
for
the
a ride.
OG,
and
but he
turned it
was
into-
the OG of that too. So
It's crazy, man.
It's amazing.
He was insanely talented.
Right?
Amazingly talented.
Chris, do you have a James Earl Jones?
No, I do not. Not even going there.
Oh man.
That would have been amazing.
I had to take a swing.
No.
It was a noble effort. Gabe.
Thanks.
Do you have one
We're
game?
gonna.
No, I don't.
No.
I wish I did.
I wish you did too.
It's so throaty, and
Mhm.
like I don't even think I
know,
can.
right?
I can't even like kind of do it justice.
No.
It's so amazing.
It's like because it's really deep, and it's not like that would be really hard to pull off a James Earl Jones.
Yeah, I like only do the breathing.
Yeah.
That's all I have, and he didn't probably have anything to do with that.
I know, right?
Exactly. We are going to end with Mama Bread Fan
Hey.
at Christmas time.
Oh snap!
What's your favorite Christmas memory? Chris, it better be something about your mother.
Yeah. Oh,
I think she
favorite
set
Christmas
you
memory?
up on this one.
There was one Christmas, so single parent home here. There was one Christmas where I think I was old enough to realize we didn't have much money,
Mm-hmm.
but my mom like pulled off a miracle and there was a bunch of gifts under the tree. And I'm talking about like elementary school. I think I was in 4th grade, and I just remember like, you kind of like excited for Christmas, and I remember getting down there and just being like in shock of what she had pulled off. And like there was super soakers under there and like just a bunch of toys, and I just remember being like understanding that like, wow, my mom would have had to like really
You had to hustle.
hustle it up to put this all together.
Mm.
And so I think that's one of my favorite memories, just being old enough to realize
Sure.
the job of a single parent with 2 boys and trying to pull off Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's mine. Ed, you have one?
It's kind of the same thing in but it's more in retrospect. When we got our NES for the first time, knowing now how much it cost, it like
Sure.
it made me appreciate. I was like, because we're kind of the same thing. We didn't have a ton of money flying around, and so the fact that they got us one, it really, in retrospect, meant more than it even did at the time, just because I knew what they had to scrounge together.
Yep.
That's right. Yeah, that makes sense. Chris?
You will do anything for your children.
Kind of, it's sticking with a gaming memory. One of the ones that sticks out the most in my head is the year that we got for Christmas the N64, because our parents, it was the last gift, and it was to all the kids, obviously, because it was expensive, and we needed to, and we're all kids, so we're all going to want to play it. So it was like a gift to all of us, but it was not expected. It was definitely like one of those, what's over there behind the whoozy what? And then we all go and open it.
Yeah.
And just the excitement that we had. I mean, I remember my brother like acted like he fainted, and it was definitely an exciting time for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That is
That's
great.
awesome. That's
I
awesome.
love that.
I always have really fond memories of driving up to see Lauren's parents when they still lived in Jersey, because we were right by the New York, and it was just always fun to go up there. And it was always the kind of the start of our holiday season, because for Lauren, it's just run and gun until Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
What we used to do before Piper was usually on the 23rd is when we would the night of the 22nd we would have our own Christmas together. So we would just have the tree lit and we'd exchange gifts, and then that next day we'd pack up and drive up to New Jersey, and that's kind of when the holiday started. One memorable one for me really was. When we had our Christmas the night before, I had given Lauren the first 2 Harry Potter books, so The Sorcerer's Stone and what's number 2? Oh man,
Another Harry Potter book,
right?
The sequel.
and so she ended up reading the entire Sorcerer's Stone on the ride up, and it was great.
Wow.
It was the first time we had ever heard anything about Harry Potter, and it was super magical. So. I will always love that. Yeah,
That's
it's really
nice.
cool. But she read like most of the way. Like I was getting her water and Diet Cokes at every stop. Like her mouth was like, she's like, my throat's dry. I'm like, we'll take a little break. And then, but like we got so engrossed in the story that we.
She read it out loud.
She read it out loud.
Oh, nice.
The whole way up.
A good thing she could read. If that was me, it'd have been up,
14.
back, and then the next trip.
Exactly.
So
But yeah,
Dumbledore.
Yep, exactly. Yep. It's so funny. Yeah, I love that memory.
That's awesome.
That's a great way to end. Thank you, everybody, for all the questions. We really appreciate it.
Yes, and it must be that time of year because the question of the week is kind of on the same vibe. It is, what was your favorite video game of your childhood? So when you were a kid, youngster, like when you first started gaming, what was that game that like you just could not get enough of as a kid? I'm not talking about high school, but if that's when you started gaming, obviously. But when you were like a kid, like, we're talking about Christmas time and children and, childhood video game. Chris, can you think of one off the top of your head?
I remember when I got my NES, one of the games I feel like I remember playing the most, besides Mario, was Excite Bike.
Oh!
Ooh,
I remember
nice.
playing the mess out of that.
Yes, Excite Bike. That's a freaking good one.
Mm.
Ed, what about you? Did you have one back in the day?
Probably Pitfall on Atari.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
That was a good one.
Yep.
Tim,
Super Mario.
make fire with stick.
Tim McFile with sticks.
Tim make fun.
Who can look at sun longest?
Tim hunt and gather.
That's a good one.
Yeah, Super Mario.
Super Mario.
Crawl out of the ocean and evolve.
That's the pot calling the kettle evolution.
Yeah, it is. And the sequel, Walk Upright. I would say Pilot Wings I played the mess out of. But
right.
I think Super Mario World was probably like the one of the pinnacles for me, where I was like, games don't get any better than this. They did. I was wrong, but that game is still amazing.
That's awesome.
I think it's stood the test of time. All right, let us know what your favorite game of your childhood was. We'd love to hear about it and talk about it next week. I'm Gabe Patillo.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's Tim Router. That's Ed Placencia. And then we got the non-Karen sarcastic Chris McCracken.
Jeez.
and we, I'm sure about this, are married to the games. And we about this thing. Peace!